wants to see that. She won't give up until she dies. Just like you right now. But I've changed my mind. That last showed the signs of evolution. Showed that no one wants my work. Instead, you wouldn't have somebody to capture to it. Someone would have only had physical damage before. Could have transformed into unlike person.
All right, what is up, everybody? Divine Hood here, coming at you with another daily update on Bitcoin in the crypto markets. Welcome in, everybody. We are getting some action today. Welcome in, Samuel S. Andy from Bitcoin Consensus. Welcome in. Much love, brother. Guys, Andy is one of the real ones out there. Really highly respect that man. Welcome in, Andy. Thank you for popping in here. Crypto Clown World, welcome in. Thank you for being here. ZMX, Andrew, Jimmy, R Pink, thank you guys all for being here. R Pink, thank you for modding. Time Attack, thank you for modding as well, and welcome in. Nonsense, welcome in. B, you caught a piece of the fill off the weekly. Awesome, man. Welcome in. And Bullish on Parade, how you doing, man? Yeshwanth, much love to you as well. BG and Alpha G, welcome in as well. Tuna Mel and Master Ghoul, thank you guys for being here. All right, guys, we are getting some action today. Now, I do want to talk about Bitcoin's overall larger correction to the downside. I still do not think it's done, but we are seeing some massive developments in Bitcoin dominance, and the altcoins are really starting to pop off. And we saw this start earlier in the week with ICP and then Filecoin, Nearcoin, and now Aptos is starting to pop off as well. Some of the other altcoins are really starting to pop off and have some huge pumps. we might be able to get a little bit of a run on some of the alts in the next few weeks. And if Bitcoin can continue, to come just a little bit lower, find major support, and we could get a rally from there, we could see a little bit of an alt season before this bear market finally starts to really kick in here. But right now for Bitcoin, I am still looking at this larger ABC correction to the downside, potentially coming down to 96.5K, where our point of control is, at least taking out the lows at 98.2K. But within this C wave, we are in the C wave, and I do not think it's quite done yet. I think we still have a little bit further left to go to the downside. And within the C wave, we're looking for a 5-wave impulse, a 1, 2, 3. We're seeing a flat and a 4. And remember, those 4th wave targets are between the 382 and the 0.5 Fibonacci. So if we see a flat in this 4th wave over the weekend, kind of this rangy type flat price action over the weekend, and then a 5th wave to finally come down and hit our support level, take that liquidity, we might have some really nice bull divs developing on the chart. We might be able to get a real reversal from this general area here. And we'll see how that has to play out over the next week or so. But you can see on my chart, I have that 0.5 Fibonacci. Now, that 0.5 Fibonacci is pulled from the highs of wave 3 to the lows of wave 3. And the reason why I think we could get up there is we are seeing some bullish CVD divergence absorption. Actually, we're seeing bullish absorption on the charts. You can see here higher lows in the price action. Now, this was kicking off. This was starting to really develop and build before this pump this last couple of hours. So higher highs in the price action, lower highs in the CVD, and our open interest is steadily increasing here. That is the key. It's steadily increasing. And this is an aggregated CVD or aggregated open interest here, which makes me think that we are going to continue pushing up. Now, technically, we have taken out the targets for that absorption by taking out these highs here. But I do think that this could continue a little bit higher. And over the weekend, I think it's going to be slow price action on Saturday. On Sunday, we could get some more pumpage to the upside. And that 105K level is an important level where I do think we might be able to reject and get that last 5th wave to the downside here. Welcome in, Mark Dutch. Thank you so much. Shaved the VWAP around the naked POC. Shaved the VWAP around the naked POC. Now everything's looking divine under the hood. All right, Mark Dutch. Way to go, man. I got to shave my Fibonacci and VWAP as well. And Olo Ferre, welcome in, man. Thank you so much for being here. Guys, Bitcoin is just kind of seeing a little bit of pumpage, but the altcoins are really starting to pop off. And I want to go into really quickly here. I want to go into our Bitcoin dominance. And you can see here, Bitcoin dominance is tanking right now. It is really starting to tank down. We could be in an impulse to the downside, a big 3rd wave. Maybe we're going to see more pushes on the altcoins against Bitcoin here. So I pulled, just looking earlier today, I was looking at kind of this grindy type price action to the upside. And you can see I pulled a channel from the 2 first lows of this kind of grindy type price action here. And then I did pull it up to this high here. I mean, you could pull it to this high as well. But just looking generally at this channel structure here, of course, we had the big fake out pushing up when that crash happened a few Fridays ago. And then today, you can see we broke above the channel, back tested the channel, made new highs locally. But after making those new highs, we are now losing the channel. We've back tested that channel and we're breaking down below the midline, which this was an area where we could have bounced. This was the midline of the channel and the value area high of our range of this entire push up here. And we're below the POC. And so this tells me we might be able to even drop all the way down to the value area low, filling that volume profile in full. And if we look at our golden pocket Fibonacci, let's just pull that golden pocket real quick here. And I'm going to pull it to this high. You could pull it to the wick up here, but I guess we could pull that real quickly here. Yeah, it could be a fake out of the channel breaking down. Let's look at our 786 Fibonacci as well. Yeah, I like that 786 Fibonacci down there if we're going to pull it to the highs. Now, the reason why I wasn't initially pulling it to these highs because it's a little bit wonky on TradingView as far as the highs. You can see right now I'm on the 4-hour time frame, and on the 4-hour time frame, we never came up to our golden pocket and we never back tested our 3-year long trend of the Bitcoin dominance. But if I zoom out onto the daily chart, you can see that it actually did test it. So that's something a little bit weird going on with TradingView there. But this is what I'm looking at. So guys, for Bitcoin dominance, we were in a massive trend for pretty much 3 years. Bitcoin dominance was rising within this channel. It was the star of the show for most of the bull market. And when we finally saw us grab liquidity or reject from the top of the channel, bounce from the midline. Let me go out, actually zoom out onto the 2-day time frame so we can get a better look at this. You know, hit into the top of the channel, see a nice dump, held the midline of the channel, and then we came up to take out those highs. After doing that, we lost market structure bearishly by breaking down past these lows here. And after breaking down past those lows, we bounced from the bottom of the channel for a little bit, and then we lost the channel and came down to our golden pocket 786 area, pulled from the last major low. This is when we bounced from our weekly channel midline. You can see this dotted line here is our weekly channel midline. And now what I'm looking for overall on Bitcoin dominance is that back test of that 3-year long trend. And if we do reject, we can expect an alt season to come in. If we kind of continue to grind here and maybe get back within this trend, we might be able to see Bitcoin dominance make new highs and maybe a bit of some wreckage for the altcoins. But what I will say is this trend is not sustainable long term. I mean, this is such a big push up, and already having 2/3 of the money into Bitcoin at the top here, pretty much 2/3 of the money into Bitcoin at the top. I do understand that institutions are focused on Bitcoin mainly, mostly Bitcoin. But I do think there are good altcoin projects out there. There is a lot of money pouring into some of these new projects, some of these exciting projects here. So I'm thinking we could get that rejection and we could see a drop down. Now, I'm still looking for the drop down to backtest that midline again. You know, we backtested it here. We got a nice big push up, nice little dominance push up. And if we can drop down, see that happen. That's not going to happen overnight. Of course, that is going to take some time to happen, and we will get bounces along the way. But this is our last hope for a bit of an altcoin rally before the bear market ends. Okay, here, let's see. Let me check the chat real quick. Thank you guys all for joining me. What a fun day this is. The altcoins are really starting to pop off. Fun fact, the 0.5 level is actually isn't a fib level. Yes, you're right. It is. It's more like the equilibrium. It's the equilibrium level. But it is respected, especially in traditional finance. It is respected quite a bit. Yeah, thank you guys for modding. Mark Dutch, R Pink, Time Attack. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for modding. Really appreciate your guys' time. I have some alts to sign up. AVAX, SUI, ICP, and Aptos. Yes, Ludong, absolutely. Guys, today we are going to go into alts. We will do a little bit longer of a stream, and let's go into some of the altcoins that are very exciting here. But before we do that, Blair, happy Friday to you as well. Before we do that, we just talk about Bitcoin. I mean, there's not a lot too much happening with Bitcoin. I do want to go on to our chart of the pitchfork that was pulled from our wave 3 impulse. So let me go ahead and zoom into the 2-hour chart. Now, the last time we got that major rejection from the midline, we were expecting a drop down to our pitchfork band. We got that drop down to our pitchfork band, but also I was expecting at least some sort of bounce from this area, even if it's to make a lower high before coming down lower and taking the liquidity. And you can see nicely, if we do kind of range over the weekend and see this flat in here, reject, and then come down in an impulse, we could be coming and taking that liquidity of the 98.2K lows right into the bottom of the pitchfork band. And then we could start to see a nice impulse up from here, which would be my preferred trading plan to see that, finishing this bigger zigzag correction to the downside. And then we can see if we can get a real impulse up out of here and see kind of one last push in the bull market, maybe not even making new all-time highs, but at least getting a significant multi-$1,000 push to the upside. But we are at support. We're at the pitchfork band of support. When we lost the midline, we were expecting that drop to support. And knowing that that liquidity, that very, very key liquidity is just below us, I do think we are going to come grab that liquidity. But there are times where we have front ran key liquidity grabs before and just push to the upside. The daily time frame momentum wave is starting to bottom out here. On many of the altcoins, we are getting big green dots printing, but we don't see any bull divs yet. guys. We don't see any bull divs yet, and our money flow is still heavily into the red, both on NAMI and Market Cipher B here. And even on NAMI, because we did bounce from the 886, we are not seeing bull divs on the daily time frame on NAMI, which is much quicker than Market Cipher B. Now, if we zoom into the 4-hour chart, on the 4-hour chart, I was really looking for potentially grabbing that low today, seeing that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and grabbing the low and then seeing a push up. But it does look like, we are going into the weekend. And if we pull our Fibonacci from the lows of yesterday to the highs, came down to our 886. Now, I would like to say this. In a larger downtrend, if you do on a dead cat bounce, you retrace to the 886 and you touch that 886, now you do have a far higher probability to take out these lows because we've touched the 886. And for me, it just makes sense as far as our bigger corrective wave to the downside, coming down, grabbing that liquidity would be nice to see. I am still now looking very locally to come up and take out the highs from yesterday into that 0.5 Fibonacci. And once we do that, we'll have to see how it reacts. If we're getting up there, like let's zoom in onto the 15-minute chart. And on that 15-minute chart, if we are getting some bear divs as we're coming up into that 0.5 Fibonacci, some local bearish divergences, then I might look to short that 0.5 Fibonacci just to take out the lows here. It would be a scalp short. Of course, risk management would be calculated ahead of time. And I would probably wait for the rejection to occur before even attempting that short. And then I would put the stop above wherever the wick ended. So thank you guys for being here. Let's see. Let me check this chat again. Okay. David Brumlow, welcome in, man. Good to see you. C-Train, good to see you. Thank you guys for being here. Tamale, welcome in. Yeah, please, guys, if you do get any sort of insight into the market from this video, please hit the like button for me and share the stream with anyone you might think finds it interesting. Real quick, before we go into some of the altcoins, I just want to talk about the partners of the channel and the new trading competition we got with BYDFI. So BYDFI is the main partner of the channel. They are a VPN and KYC free exchange. All you need is an email and a password to sign up. If you do sign up using my affiliate link in the description, you'll get a minimum of 20% discounts on trading fees, and you can actually earn up to 40% discounts if you deposit some of the larger amounts. They're offering up to $8,100 in futures trading bonuses, depending on how much volume you move in the futures markets. And they're offering some of the best initial deposit bonuses in the game. For instance, if you deposit just $100, you can get a 50% deposit bonus, and then you can get various 20 and 10% deposit bonuses if you deposit some of the larger amounts in here. And I have partnered with BYDFI to create a Telegram community where I do post my trade setups. I do post some of my thoughts on the market, my analysis on the market when I don't have time to stream or make a video. If you're interested in joining that community, it's free. All you need to do is sign up with BYDFI using my affiliate link and deposit at least $100 into the exchange. That $100 is your money to trade with. You will get the 50% deposit bonus, and you'll get 20% discounts on the trading fees. Once you've done that, click the Telegram link in the description of this video, type in /verify, and then your user ID, which will be right up here, and that'll get you access to that Telegram community. And once you're in, you're in. Now, I have partnered with BYDFI because last week I did hit 3,000 subscribers on YouTube. BYDFI did decide to do a celebration competition for us, just for our community alone. And this competition is really cool. It started on November 5th. It's going to run till December 5th, so for 1 month. And they threw $2,000 into the prize pool. They started with a $2,000 prize pool. They just threw their own money in. They're also giving away a pair of Samsung earbuds here. And what they're doing is for every $1 million that is traded within this competition, they're going to add $100 to the prize pool. Now, the top 5 traders in the competition will get 80% of the prize pool. And then the remaining 20% of the prize pool will be exchanged amongst the other traders randomly. And then one random person will get these Samsung earbuds as well. So if you're interested in joining the community, please sign up. I'll go ahead and post that link in the description. Let me just get that real quick here. Okay, there we go. Link is in the description if you'd like to sign up for that competition. Now, guys, let's get back to the altcoins. Let's get back to the fun stuff, the TA here. And let's real quickly go to the total market cap, because in the total market cap, we talked about this last Tuesday before it happened, but we were looking to come down, and I still do not know why TradingView does that, but we were looking to come down to take out the lows into our pitchfork band and into the value area low of our larger range, 2025 range. And we did get that liquidity grab right into our pitchfork band of support. And we were at least expecting some sort of bounce from this area, some sort of bounce, even if it's to make a lower high and, you know, kind of back test this value area low before dropping further to our golden pocket area, looking for some sort of bounce. And we are seeing money flow back into the crypto market, especially into some of the altcoins right now. Money is rotating into the altcoins, and the altcoins are really popping off. On total 3 market cap, let's see, it was total 2 market cap. Total 2 market cap. Guys, in December of 2024, I was telling everyone to sell up here when we were coming towards the top of the pitchfork. We did see that multi-month correction all the way back to the bottom of the pitchfork. When we hit the bottom of the pitchfork, I was saying it's time to buy alts again. We are going to see a run on alts. Well, we did see that run. And now after, you know, kind of another touch of the bottom of the pitchfork, we are coming back down to the bottom of the pitchfork. And you can see here, we are holding the support of the pitchfork on the daily time frame. Little bit of wickage down below it to maybe hit that value area low there. And we might even still be able to make one more low to hit that value area low, reclaim, and then start to see alts pop off here. But it's looking pretty exciting here for some of the altcoins. And if we can confirm, you can see here on Market Cypher B, we have that big daily green dot printing, which could give us at least a week or so of some upside price action on some of the altcoins here, on a lot of the altcoins. This total 3 market cap excludes Bitcoin and Ethereum. But other than that, we are looking for some pushes to the upside on the altcoins. And even Bitcoin and ETH might get a little bit of a push up. I'm still want to see Bitcoin make one more low, like I said. But anytime we've come down to the bottom of this pitchfork, we have seen significant pushes to the upside. If we can hold this and we can start to break up below our value area low of our kind of prior range in here, or we could even throw on a different range. We can throw on our bigger sideways range here. If we can break up the value area lows pretty much at the same spot. So if we can break up above this value area low and find reacceptance back within this volume profile, I do think we can make a bigger push up to the value area high, which would be back testing our pitchfork band again. Coming up and back testing that pitchfork band, the top of the pitchfork band in confluence with that value area high. And that could be very exciting for some of the altcoins. Okay, but speaking of the altcoins, let's go into some of the altcoins here real quickly. We have seen lately, and this started earlier in the week with ICP. If we look at ICP, ICP came down, made significant lows, kind of broke our range to the downside. We were kind of in this accumulation range in here, but with the giant crash that happened, we broke down, we took out the lows of the bear market. And now we've been able to re-enter back within that range. And once we were able to enter back within that range, we were expecting at least a move, well, up to our local 786 area. But we were really looking at taking out the liquidity at the highs of the range, these kind of semi-equal triple highs at the highs of the range. We broke up, we busted above them, and it is even continuing here to push up. Very impulsive price action to the upside. We're seeing a lot of money flow in. And as we were seeing down below, of course, excluding the big wick, I'm going to say the big wick, excluding the big wick, we were seeing multiple drives of bull div on the daily time frame here with money flow coming up. Also on NAMI, multiple drives of bull div, money flow coming to the upside. We do have to be careful. This move could be ending soon, but we are seeing once these moves end, we are seeing now other altcoins start to make those same moves here. Let me just zoom out onto the weekly time frame. And let's grab this Fibonacci here. Golden pocket. And let's see, is this... All right, that's an 86% dump to the downside. So we're going to take this Fibonacci because we're on log scale. We're going to put fib based off log scale, and you can see right now we're kind of hitting into that resistance, being a weekly time frame resistance in confluence with our logarithmic golden pocket. But if we look at this whole big last move on the weekly as a 3-wave corrective move here, now that we're hitting the golden pocket from this high to this low, we can no longer say it's going to be a 5-wave impulse to the downside. Now it's far more likely that this is a 3-wave corrective move that ended, and now we're going to start to impulse up out of here. So yes, could we see a pullback from this general area? Absolutely. We could pull back and test the highs of the range, maybe the value area high of this little range that was in here. But I do suspect that ICP is going to keep pumping, and we also are hitting into our bigger golden pocket from that corrective move. So big resistance here, wicked up to our higher golden pocket, kind of finding the body candle close. It's not closed yet, of course, but potential body candle close there at our golden pocket. And now let's zoom in onto the daily time frame. If we just analyze the volume of this range in here, we might be able to kind of back test that value area high. Let's get rid of these now. Around, let's see, 570, 568 before making another move and breaking, really continuing this impulse to the upside. It does look pretty good. Wave 1, wave 2. We're in a wave 3 now, pushing in a wave 3 to the upside. So if we do see a 4th wave pullback and then a 5, that would be nice. And let's just check out our trend-based Fibonacci extinction here. Grab that 1.618. Yeah, so your 1.618 Fibonacci extinction is also within that zone of resistance that we're kind of finding right now. And I wouldn't be surprised if we do pull back from this area, maybe just for a few days, have a pullback, a nice little pullback to back test that value area high before continuing to push higher. Okay, but that's about it for ICP. Now, after ICP, we saw Filecoin. Filecoin starting the same thing, and we caught Filecoin pretty early. Remember that first green candle here on the daily time frame, we were looking at, we saw a small rejection from that value area low, and we pulled back here, and we pulled back pretty much to back test these prior highs. And now we're starting to push up again. But you can see we're really starting to impulse up out of here. We're looking to come up to this weekly level in confluence with the highs of the range and SFP, the highs of the range, into the weekly level. Now we've done that. We've grabbed that liquidity. We are seeing a bit of a drop, and we're right at the value area high of the range right now. Could we see a pullback real quick to backtest, not real quick, maybe the next few days, to backtest this descending channel before pushing up to our golden pocket above? I absolutely think we could, but I am looking for now, because of the impulsive price action and the huge increases in volume on these push to the upsides, I'm looking for retracements to enter longs here on some of these altcoins. And after Filecoin did that, we saw, of course, Near Protocol came and started. It's starting just yesterday and today. It's starting its push to the upside. Now, Near didn't quite make it down to the bottom of the pitchfork, and we were really looking for this. The last time we looked at Near, I'm going to zoom out on the 3-day time frame for Near. You can see here on this bigger pitchfork, we kind of lost, had this range up here, but we lost the pitchfork midline, and we came down and we chopped, and we were ranging around the pitchfork band, which oftentimes we get the ranges within the upper and lower bands of the pitchfork. But after rejecting multiple times from this band, we were looking for a drop to the bottom of the pitchfork. Almost got that drop on that move a few Fridays ago. But now we are coming back up to backtest our pitchfork band. So we see this a lot, guys, in pitchfork trading. First, you'll reject the upper part of the pitchfork band. You'll kind of chop around within here for a bit, and then you come up for a bearish backtest of the lower part. If we do reject here, we might come down and grab that liquidity into the bottom of the pitchfork band. But if we can get back up inside of this pitchfork band, not only do I think we're going to take out the range highs, and you could look at either those range highs there, or you could even throw it up here, the range highs up here. Both of them are pretty close to the pitchfork band resistance. And then, after seeing a small SFP here, you could see that drop to the bottom of the pitchfork band before starting to break up here and starting to see some real nice moves in some of the altcoins. So it does look like a lot of the altcoins are about to pop off. This price action within here does look like we're starting to see some selling exhaustion. We're starting to find a bottom on the price of the coin. And we could be seeing an accumulation happen right now, a Model 1 accumulation. You have your tap 1 here, tap 2, tap 3, Model 1 accumulation, and now we're about to start the expansion phase here. Start expanding, and I would be looking at coming up to that general area, of the weekly to the pitchfork midline. And you could see coming up to that pitchfork midline again, we would be grabbing the liquidity of our prior highs at $9 right up into that pitchfork midline. And of course, if you break above the lower band of the pitchfork, if you break above this resistance, then you can expect to eventually work your way up to that midline. So that's near. Near's starting to look real good here. And let's see, there was a couple other ones. Aptos. So let's go ahead and look at Aptos right now. Aptos is really starting to pop off as well. Very, very similar with Aptos. And sorry, guys, the chart is kind of disgusting here. But very similar with Aptos. We had that, with ICP, excuse me, we had that kind of bottom accumulation range in here. We broke it down really harshly during that collapse that we saw a few Fridays ago. But now we're starting to, if we go back to ICP, you can see we had that collapse, kind of took out the lows, took out your all-time lows here, and then you had that big pump. So let's just throw ICP back up really quickly here. With ICP, you can see we collapsed, and then you had your first green candle, really big green candle, and then we had multiple days of follow-through. Actually, that's the 3-day candle, but yeah, first big green candle, and then multiple days of follow-through for ICP. So I am looking for something very, very similar that could be happening right now on Aptos. We are starting to bottom out on our momentum wave here. And on NAMI, we do have that bullish divergence. Lower lows on the price action, higher lows on the momentum waves. And you can see our money flow is curving to the upside here. So I would really like to get above this weekly at 358. Let's see. Is that I believe, yeah, that's a fresh weekly at 358, 358.8. If we can get above that weekly and flip that to support, I do think we'll come up and backtest the value area low of our large weekly range that's going to be coming in right around 418. And then we might even be able to bust up to that $5 area. Zooming in here, you can see on the daily time frame, we have a lot of resistance up here. We have a fresh weekly level at 546, a fresh daily level at 532, and we have a naked daily point of control at 521. And liquidity. So I would say this general area is a pretty big area of resistance. And I know that's a big zone for the altcoins, but we might be able to see Aptos shoot up into this general area, just like ICP did, shot up all the way to its weekly and even pierced above its weekly level. First, we need to break above this weekly and flip it to support. But Aptos looks like we could be seeing a run here in the next week or so, if it's going to follow the trend that a lot of these coins did after taking the dump and taking out lows, starting to impulse to the upside. So yeah, I'm looking for longs on retracements. Now, we are rejecting from the value area high quite harshly here on that move to the upside. Okay. It's at the weekly if we zoom in here at the weekly, but we are above right now the value area low of the range, and we need to start closing a daily candle above the point of control of this range at 331. And then I think we'll move up to that 350, 358, 359 area. And from there, we could really see that pumpage. Okay, yeah, we'll check out Ethereum. Ethereum, guys, we were looking for some sort of bounce. Now, I do have to say, I am a little bit bummed that our 5-wave impulse to the upside did not play out. If you guys have been following my channel for a while, we were looking from the $1,400 lows, a wave 1, a wave 2, a wave 3. We were looking for that wave 4 to pull back to about 3,500, where the let me just go on to the Coinbase chart. The 4-year long range value area high is coming in at 3,500. And you can see this range goes all the way back to May of 2021. We were really looking for a wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, and a wave 5 to come up to about $6,000, where the top of our different pitchfork is. But that has now been invalidated because we dropped to hit the golden pocket from the lows of your wave 3 to the highs of your wave 3. We can no longer call that a wave 3, but that was the invalidation, was hitting that golden pocket at the $3,200 mark here. Now, we do know that that golden pocket was a significant support level. It is the pitchfork midline of our pitchfork. Let me just take this channel off the chart real quick. It was our pitchfork midline of the pitchfork in confluence with the Bybit 4-year long range value area high. Coinbase is up at 3,500. Bybits is down here at 3,200. And it was also that golden pocket. If we pull that golden pocket from your last major daily low to the all-time high that we made, and we turn off the log chart, you can see that golden pocket was coming in right from this area. So we were expecting a bounce. Even if this bounce is going to give us a lower high before breaking this down and making a lower low and coming down to, that $2,700 to $2,500 area. But expecting some sort of bounce from this area, and we might be able to get the bounce to kind of back test this support resistance flip area here around $3,600 to $3,700, where we do have some key levels of resistance above us coming in. And you can see here now, this is a different pitchfork, but this pitchfork has been highly respected. Chopped around in the lower band for a couple weeks, broke up above it, flipped the midline to support. We did see a quick flash crash here to back test that anchored VWAP, and it was also a local golden pocket. Broke above, back tested the upper band, and then we saw our distribution range kind of take place up here at the top of the pitchfork. And when you reject from the top of the pitchfork, you expect to move at least back down to back test the band again, the upper band again. But now we are breaking below that upper band. And so for me, this is a little bit concerning because you can see on Coinbase, the 4-year long, and Coinbase levels are the levels I respect more than Bybit levels. I know that Andy and Jason like Bybit levels. Coons is another great Elliott Wave trader. He uses Coinbase. I use Coinbase. I knew CryptoFace uses Coinbase. For me, in my back testing over the years, Coinbase has been the most accurate chart as far as volume levels go, volume levels of support and resistance. It is the biggest spot exchange in the United States, which is the biggest economy in the world. So that value area high of the 4-year long range is in confluence with the back test, the bearish back test of this pitchfork band. Now that we are losing this pitchfork band, you can see it was holding as support through that entire kind of triangle that we were forming in here. It was holding as support. We were seeing wicks past it on the daily time frame, but no real losses of it. But then we busted straight through it. So now it's going to be acting as a resistance. And we're bouncing from our local golden pocket area. But if we do come up here and reject this, then I expect we could drop all the way back down and drop down to that $2,700 to $2,500 area of support. And if we pull our volume profile and we look at this kind of last range in here, you can see that value area high of the range is going to be coming in right around this pitchfork midline here. We might be coming back down to back test that value area high. Also, I believe we do have some other levels down there. Let's see. It was a daily level at 2,800, and then we have some naked daily points of control in that general area. Very locally on Ethereum, we can zoom in here, go on to the 1-hour time frame. We might be seeing very similar kind of 3-wave corrective move to the upside. If we're looking at this being a possibly that bigger 5-wave impulse, 1, 2, 3, in your 4th wave, it generally lasts longer than your 2nd wave. And we could see that 3-wave corrective move to backtest resistance before seeing a 5th wave down, one more 5th wave down here to complete this impulse to the downside. So let's go ahead and pull our Fibonacci from the highs of wave 3 to the lows of wave 3 and throw on those targets between the 0.5 and the 382. You can see here we've already rejected from that 0.5 Fibonacci. Now, if we do come up to this area of resistance and hit the golden pocket, that will invalidate the impulse to the downside. So you can see that golden pocket's coming in pretty much right where the 4-year long range value area high and your pitchfork bearish back test is, your pitchfork band bearish back test. We also have some nice little internal liquidity grab. This liquidity grab right here at 35.86. Now, I understand you guys, some of you guys are going to say, oh, well, it's an internal high. Why does that even matter? But look at the impulse to the downside, the amount of dumpage to the downside, the quick, aggressive dump to the downside. So anyone that shorted anywhere within the beginning of this dump to the downside, if they're a technical trader, they're going to have their stops. Say you shorted down here, you're going to have your stop above that high, because if you break that high, your trading plan is wrong and you need to get out. So that high, even though it's an internal high, there is significant liquidity resting above that, where if we do come and see a swing failure pattern into a golden pocket, into a pitchfork band, and into a 4-year long range value area high, we might be seeing that dump, that rejection from that area. Now that'll complicate things, because then we're going to have to look at this as a bigger 3-wave move to the downside. We can no longer classify it as a part of an maybe an unfinished impulse. We would have to say, okay, that was a 3-wave move, and we might make a higher low here and continue pushing and continue the local bullish market structure of making highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher low, higher high, and kind of continue up within a channel. If we actually pull, let's go ahead and look at this channel here. We'll take it from the lows to the higher lows and bring it up to this high here. Yeah, and you'd see also coming up to the high of the channel. I mean, the channel's been respected. You could see here, midline respected here, midline all respected through here. And now if we come up to the top of the channel again, we could reject from the top of the channel. So, I wouldn't say it's a bear flag, but it's, you know, kind of traded like bear flag type price action, where you have your big pull, your flag, and then you might be able to break this down. So we'll just have to see as more data develops on the charts here. But for me, that is a significant resistance above, around that 35.70 to about 36.16 is going to be significant resistance. And if we get up there with some bear divs on the chart, I will look to potentially take a short. Okay, but that's about it for Ethereum, guys. Ethereum is ranging locally. We did see the bull divs on the chart. You can see here lower lows on the price action, higher lows on the momentum waves. Also NAMI, higher lows on the momentum waves, and money flow had been curving to the upside. So real nice bull divs confirming at least a scalp long position. And then if we look at our 786 Fibonacci, you can see, actually it was golden pocket, I guess it was. It was your golden pocket. Bouncing from your golden pocket. Now we might be able to make one more push up to make a new high here. Okay, some of the other altcoins are popping off. Sui is really starting to pop off today. Let me check that chat to see what coins you guys want. Okay, AVAX, Sui, ICP. We did ICP and Aptos already. We'll go into Sui real quickly here. So Sui, if you guys remember the live stream from yesterday and from Tuesday, we were talking about a bounce from the pitchfork band. We rejected the midline of the pitchfork. We were expecting a drop to the band, and we were at least expecting a corrective move here on Sui, even if we're going to make a lower high before taking the liquidity at the bottom of the band. We were expecting some sort of bounce here, and it looks like we're getting a bounce. Now, I do have to say, the way this looks so far, it is starting to look a little bit impulsive here. If we turn on our volume, we are getting some nice spikes in volume here on this push up that we're seeing today. And let's just throw on, okay, let me get rid of that. Golden pocket here. If you look at the golden pocket, we're bouncing from our local golden pocket area, just like Ethereum, and now we're starting to push up here with bull divs on the chart. Now, this one was a little bit more, let's go on to the 1 hour here. This one was a little bit harder because the 4 hour time frame, the money flow was leaving aggressively. But on the 1 hour time frame and under, you can see this very, very nice bullish divergence here. Higher lows on the price action. Oh, excuse me. No, that's, yeah, hidden bull divs that we saw. But bouncing from the golden pocket, and now we might be starting a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 push up here before seeing that bigger correction down. And if we take our trend-based Fibonacci extinction, your 1-to-1 target and your 1.236 we're coming up into right now. So if this is going to be a 3-wave corrective move, we expect to reject relatively soon from this area. Seeing that 3-wave corrective move, reject from your 1-to-1 target, 1.236, and then see that dump down. If we can come up to this golden pocket, once again, it would invalidate our 5-wave impulse, a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It would invalidate that if we can come up to the golden pocket here. And if we reject from our, let's see, this is the golden pocket we need to be looking at. So we've already invalidated the impulse to the upside, downside, excuse me. Okay. Yep. We are at resistance though locally. So if you are long on SUI, you might want to consider taking some profit at this golden pocket and at this this target area here, because we might be seeing a larger complex correction in here. But now we cannot consider this a wave 1, a wave 2, a wave 3, a wave 4, and a wave 5. We now have to look at this as a potentially 3-wave corrective move that's completed. We now might get another 3-wave corrective move up to the golden pocket before seeing another 3-wave corrective move, seeing a more complex WXY correction in here. Nice bullish money flow. We're just crossing into the green, and we're making locally on market structure. We are now making higher lows and higher highs. So you can say until the local market structure starts to break bearishly, this trend might continue up. But yes, we are at resistance. Yeah, 8-hour time frame had some nice bull divs in here as well. Money flows now curving to the upside. And let's look at our daily. Big daily green dot here. Remember, when these big daily green dots print and confirm, so it's not confirmed until the day closes today, but if this green dot confirms momentum waves bottoming out, we might be able to see a move up to this golden pocket. Now, this golden pocket at 237, I will be watching that golden pocket at 237 because we also have the backtest of your pitchfork midline there, and it's the value area low of your larger range here. Value area low of your larger range. You could pull this even, wrong one, to this general area. I like to pull it from when the impulse ends. So you can see here, this was a nice impulse to the upside. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And here, impulse ended. So I like to pull that range from the end of the impulse because we're looking at a range. And that value area low of that range is coming in right around your pitchfork midline and your golden pocket from the last daily high to that low that we made. And as far as pitchfork trading goes, it's you bounce from the lower band. If you bounce from the lower band, now you're going to backtest a higher time frame backtest of that pitchfork midline. If you reject, you expect to at least come down to the bottom of the lower band. But we had our low time frame backtest of the pitchfork midline here. We rejected it. So usually when you have a pitchfork like this that's holding as support through all of this, you lose it, you'll immediately low time frame backtest. And if you reject, you expect to make new lows. We did that. Now we've come down to actually hit our support level. After hitting our support level, we might now see that higher time frame backtest of that pitchfork midline. If we get that rejection on that higher time frame backtest, then we probably are going to come down to the lower part of the band, or maybe even come down to the bottom of the pitchfork here. And really, that's all that I'm looking at for SUI. So I'm not long on SUI. I didn't long this backtest of the pitchfork or the support of the pitchfork band, but I will be looking for potential shorts up in this area between 237 and 240. We also have some other confluence up there. If we turn on our daily levels, you can see we have a daily level up there at 237.7. Let's see, was there a weekly? There's no weeklies up there. Yeah. So right now we're hitting into resistance for sure, though, guys. Be aware of that because we just looked at our local golden pocket. And it's a naked daily point of control. So local golden pocket, naked daily point of control. It's also in that 1-to-1 to 1.236 Fibonacci retracement area. If we're just going to see a 3-wave corrective move here before, and we could form a range down here. Remember, I often talk about in these high time frame pitchforks, you do form ranges in or around your pitchfork bands, and we're near that lower pitchfork band. So just be aware, hitting into a naked daily point of control in a golden pocket. Now, if we do retrace here, we could look at seeing another push up here. Just locally, we're seeing a wave 1. If it's a bullish scenario, a wave 2, a wave 3 that would probably bring us up higher, then a wave 4, and then a wave 5, bringing us up to that resistance. Now, within your wave 3, with this bigger impulse from the bottom, within your wave 3, you're looking for a 5-wave count of its own. So can we count 5 waves in here? We can see a 1, a 2, 3. We might be rejecting within 3 right now to pull back for a 4 before seeing a 5 to finish the larger third wave in here. So it doesn't look like that third wave is finished if this is a bullish scenario. What we can do with this is we can pull our Fibonacci retracement from the lows of wave 3 to the current highs of wave 3. We're going to turn on our wave 4 targets. And now we're looking for a pullback to generally between the 382 and the 0.5. Well, that anchored, or the VWAP, the daily VWAP is coming in around the 0.5, around 206. So that, and that also is your highs of the range in here. So that could be a nice little support level, 206, to long that to bring up to at least break above the highs that we're seeing right now. And then remember, even if that happens, we're still looking at our bigger 1, 2, 3 from wherever we're going to reject here. You could see now a 4 and a 5. Okay, let me check the chat here. Don't tell anyone, time attack. Okay, bullish on banana, that's all. Okay, we'll check out banana. My monthly income is 50,000, but thanks to your stream, I earned 30,000 in just 3 days. Wow, Yeshwant, I am so happy to hear that. God bless you, and good job. You know, I might have been helping you, but you were the one making the decisions, and you were the one making the trades. So acknowledge that within yourself and be proud of yourself for that. Like, that's really awesome, and I really hope you continue to grow and be profitable and change your life. Like, that's really awesome, man. That's so awesome. I know, like, good banana peach bowl for breakfast. Okay, is banana actually a coin we're looking to trade, or is that just something you guys are joking around? If we have an earlier than expected alt season, would it be short-lived if the dominance shifts and BTC starts to move? Well, here's the thing, guys. It's kind of weird this cycle because Bitcoin is near all-time highs, but the alts are near all-time lows. So if Bitcoin really is about to go into a bear market, we're not going to see a giant alt season here. But we generally do see at the end of a bull market, we see money rotate out of Bitcoin. We see one last kind of blow off top on the altcoins because money rotates into the altcoins. And then we see the bear market start where everything drops. So what we could be seeing now over the next 1 or 2 months is Bitcoin kind of ranging and dropping, you know, like money rotating out of Bitcoin. We could see the alts starting to pop off for a month or 2, and then we could see the bear market come in. But at the very least, I am expecting Bitcoin to make some sort of bounce. I'm not going to say a full reversal like to new all-time highs, but after this ends, and specifically after we grab this liquidity into our point of control, I'm expecting at least one last impulse up here. And for that impulse up, let's just zoom out onto the daily chart here. What we're going to be looking at potentially after this ABC correction ends here, we're going to be looking for an impulse up. And that impulse, yeah, sure. Could it make new all-time highs? Yes, that's always a possibility. We could make one more new all-time high. But if we look at pulling a golden pocket from the all-time highs, and I'm just going to put it down onto that POC at 96.5, we could look for an impulse to come up to that 116 area, 115, 116, 117, where we do know there's a lot of resistance up here. First of all, you have your highs in here. It would be a liquidity grab into a value area high and a golden pocket in that general area. This golden pocket is of your large 2025 range. Also, if we look at the volume profile of this upper range that we broke down from, you can see your POCs right there. So we might be able to, if we continue kind of doing this, we can see some sort of impulse up here to reject from this general area before seeing the bigger move down. And you're going to see that kind of overall bearish market structure kind of start here. Now, that's all speculation right now. We have not come down to 96.5. We have not broken those lows, but we have broken. What we can say is that we have broken market structure bearishly on the daily time frame by taking out those 107K lows down here. We have broken market structure bearishly. Now, after our bearish market structure break, what happened? We got a small bounce, made another lower high, and then made another lower low. So we can say that market structure from the all-time highs is bearish now, making lower lows, lower highs, lower lows. So are we just going to make a lower high before making lower lows here? I mean, it's right now the market structure is showing that that's more probable. Okay, okay, we did Ethereum, earbuds. PHA, we'll look at PHA, Filecoin. Yeah, Filecoin is junk. I understand Filecoin's junk, but that doesn't mean we can't play the market on it. You know, I bought some Filecoin spot down in the POC of this range, this POC here, and that was before the big dump a few Fridays ago. Remember, we were up here, and I said if we pull back to the midline in the POC, I'm going to buy some spot. And we did that. I was looking at personally a tap 1 here, a tap 2, and then a tap 3 of a possible accumulation pattern before seeing it pop off here. But we knew that we were near all-time lows on this thing, and the risk of buying and holding longer term, year, 2 years, 3 years, for me, it was worth it to buy some here. So now, yeah, we dropped down below. I was comfortable holding it underwater, and now I'm above. You know, my buy is at around 231. Okay, we'll check PHA and FET and SHIB. Let's look at some of the bigger altcoins first. We'll Save 77. We'll go through XRP here, and then we can go through some of these smaller altcoins, guys. We can go through Tau, AV&T, Curve. Yeah, Curve's a good one to look at. We'll go through a bunch of these. Brian Woods, welcome in, man. It's good to see you. Yeah, great day to be in alts for sure. We'll look at Render. Don't forget to share your love by hitting that like button. Yes, guys, please hit the like button. If you got any sort of insight into the market from the stream, please hit the like button. We'll cover Doge. We'll go through a lot of the altcoins today. GRT. Right now, quickly, I'm going to go through XRP. I'm going to try to go through some of these altcoins relatively quickly so that we can get to a lot of them. But we'll get to it. Now, XRP, first of all, we do have the larger range here that goes back to December. We're still chopping around within this range. We're near the value area low of the range. And remember, anytime you're near the lows of a range, you should look for longs. Anytime you're near the highs of the range, you should look for shorts. We are also in this descending channel here. And this corrective descending channel, after seeing this was a 3-wave corrective move, unfortunately. Because that was a 3-wave corrective move, there is a possibility that we could come down to take out the lows here. Like, let me just say that right now. And that would be our bearish scenario. But our bullish scenario, this does look so far pretty corrective here. And if we can continue to hold this overall descending channel and bounce from support of the channel, we might be able to see an impulse up out of here, at least testing the golden pocket. And I'm talking about the golden pocket from the highs to the lows. And of course, we would have to throw that on log scale because that's more than a 30% drop. So the golden pocket, you can see, is at a very, very key area of resistance. The value area high of our range in confluence with golden pocket, naked daily point of control up there. I believe we have a daily level. You can see we have a daily level right up there. Let me throw that on. A daily level, 288. No weeklies up there. But yeah, we'll have to see how that plays out. But if you can hold the value area low overall, you expect to move up to the POC. Now, the POC is what we're coming up to right now. So let me go ahead and zoom in now. We'll go on to the 2-hour chart. Nice hold of the bottom of the channel. Now, this resistance, we've already rejected from it. I left it on there because it is still going to act as resistance, but you can see we've already rejected from that resistance. That resistance was a golden pocket in confluence with the POC. If we pull that golden pocket from the highs to the lows, you can see golden pocket, POC area. And actually, I think let's pull that. Okay. Yeah, that golden pocket hasn't been hit. And honestly, that golden pocket's more important anyways because it's from the range highs. If we're looking at this sideways move after the dump happened, we have a sideways range that we're trading now. You can see this is our sideways range after the dump happened. So we're bouncing from the bottom of the channel. We're now back inside of our volume profile by being above the value area low of the range. So it's a high probability that we can make it up to at least the POC of the range. Well, the POC of our large range is also there. Our year-long range is also there. So that is still going to be acting as tough resistance. But can we get a three-wave corrective move here where we do come up a little bit higher, hit into the channel midline, hit into that golden pocket pulled from the highs of the range to the lows of the range or your new lows, and then either see a rejection from here and come all the way back down and actually hit value area low, or if we can break above that, come up to our value area high of our local range, and then see a rejection there to backtest the midline and then continue pushing up here to the top of the channel or even breaking out of the channel. So this is kind of what I'm looking at for XRP. Do I know which one it's going to be? No, I don't, guys. I do not know what this is going to be, but all I know is I can mark out my levels that I'm interested in taking trades at and now look at having those levels. So now I'm going to move this box actually because this box was from this rejection here a little bit higher where the POC golden pocket channel midline is. And then we also have that nice liquidity grab now into that area, the liquidity grab from last Wednesday. So you can see this area of resistance between 241 and 245 might be a little nice area where we can see a bit of a pullback. And then I want to look at my trend-based Fibonacci extinction. We're going to go from the lows to the highs to the lows. And our 1-to-1 and our 1.236, you can see our 1-to-1 target is very close to our next resistance. So for me, I'm not interested in taking any shorts on XRP except for in my boxes. You know, the boxes and the 1-to-1. Oftentimes, if you're seeing a larger three-wave zigzag correction, and this is the correction I'd be talking about, a three-wave zigzag correction up to that 1-to-1, you'll wick a little bit past it and hit a resistance, being that daily or even the value area high of the range. And then you'll close the candle body there, and then you could start to see that impulse down again. So we're going to want to see, as we're coming up into this area, we definitely don't want to see a three-wave corrective move here. It would be nicer if we could. I mean, it's tough because we have resistance. It's your only resistance until getting to that area, and we're impulsing up to it right now. But yeah, let's just see how it reacts when we get up here. If we do reject from that area, you're going to want to come down and hold the value area low of the range. This value area low here. You're going to want to hold that, and then you could continue pushing up. And in that case, in your bullish scenario, you'd be looking at a double 1-2, a 1-2, 1-2, and then you'd want your big third wave, and then you'd see a 4-5-4-5 here. So that would be your bullish scenario. And we'll be able to tell more about that if we reject from here and come down and bounce from your golden pocket. So, you know, we have this 1, 2, and I bet you that's our golden pocket we bounce from. And then we come up, we take out the highs, we reject from this area. If you come down to your golden pocket, and we can pull that theoretical golden pocket right now, let's just do this. Oop, I guess it would help to grab the tool. Yeah, and you can see that golden pocket would be in confluence with the value area low. So that would definitely be your support level you want to hold. You'd have your 1, 2, 1, 2, and then that could be the start of the big third wave. So we'll see how it rejects once we get up. If we reject, if we get up to 241 to 245, I would definitely take some profit there if you're in a long. And then you might be able to, even if we're seeing bearish divergences up here, short it into the value area low, which is at 225, where your golden pocket would be as well. If we, you know, that golden pocket's theoretical for the moment. Now, one thing I do have to say overall on higher time frames, I don't like how we didn't hit the value area low here. We front ran that value area low. And I believe, and I'm using Coinbase chart because the wick on Coinbase was a lot less than the wick on other exchanges, on Bybit, on Binance. But also, if we pull that golden pocket, yeah, I guess we did hit the 618 of the golden pocket. So that is good there. Okay, but that's XRP in a nutshell. We will go through, guys. Chainlink is also popping off. Chainlink, we were expecting a major bounce from this area, major bounce, spot buy, swing long, and it was the bottom of the pitchfork in confluence with our 2-year long range. You can see this range goes back to November of 2023, so almost exactly 2 years long. Came down, bounced from our support level. Now I'm looking, I am long on Chainlink. I took a long earlier today on Chainlink when we came down and we bounced. I think it was this one. I think I took a long right here. And then now we're pushing up here on Chainlink, but we're holding and forming kind of that bottoming pattern here. Bullish divs, money flow is now starting to come to the upside here. Hidden bull divs printing on NAMI on the 1 hour. I'm have my first TP pretty much where we're at right now, because if we look right now, we have a golden pocket. If you pull it from that last high when we rejected from the POC, and that was the rejection from our lower band of the pitchfork to the lows, man. Okay, there we go. We're coming up into that golden pocket, and just above that golden pocket was that liquidity. So I'm hoping that we can come a little bit higher to hit that liquidity. Overall, if we're going to see that 3-wave corrective move and come back down, then that's going to be a TP for me. And actually, I think I'm just, let me check the 5-minute chart here. No, it looks good, actually. It looks like we might be starting like a bull flag type formation here. But Chainlink, I'm looking for it to come up, potentially up to this area of resistance up here. So on the higher time frames, let me just zoom out to the 8-hour time frame. We were forming that range, that triangle that was forming here inside of the pitchfork band. And these higher time frame pitchforks oftentimes form ranges in and around the band. So we were forming that range. We broke it down. And that last breakdown, you know, we lost it. We were kind of back testing the lower part of the band in here. We couldn't, and then we broke down to the bottom of the pitchfork. But seeing that this is our macro POC in confluence with the macro bottom of the pitchfork, I was expecting a bounce. And now what we might see, because just like with Ethereum, we lost the midline. We had, was that Ethereum that we were looking at? One of the coins, we lost the midline. Pitchfork midline, we had the immediate low time frame back test of the midline, and then we dumped. It was actually Sui. So let me show you this real quick on Sui. Sui, we lost the midline, low time frame back test of the midline, and then we dumped to the next major pitchfork level. Now on Chainlink, we're looking for pretty much the same type of price action. We lost the lower band, immediate low time frame back test of the lower band, we dumped to the bottom of the pitchfork. Both Sui and Chainlink have now the potential to see a 5-wave impulse up to now see a higher time frame backtest of that pitchfork band. So I will be looking for a take profit to around 17.65, taking out those highs into a daily level, into a golden pocket. And if we pull a golden pocket from the highs of the range to the lows of the range, you can see that's where your large golden pocket is. You can see that's where your POC of your range that you broke down was. You can also see that that's where your pitchfork band bearish backtest is. We also have a daily in there as well. We turn on those dailies. You can see we have a daily at 17.58. And I believe we had a naked daily point of control as well. No, maybe it was. Okay, so yeah, that was it there. Yeah. Right now we're at local resistance, just like with Sui and Ethereum. We're at local resistance. Could see a small pullback from this area. Okay, let's go through AVAX real quick. AVAX, guys, is backtesting our upper band, upper part of the lower band of the pitchfork. So we could reject here and come to the bottom again. Remember, we talked about this on yesterday's live stream, but we did see that rejection from the upper band. We lost the lower, we lost the midline, and when it came to the lower band, I will say this. Remember last week when we were down in this range, I was telling everyone we were looking at a descending channel in here, and I was telling everyone I expect one more low. We were looking at this descending channel. And I was telling everyone, guys, I'm looking for a low below this low, coming down to 16.5. We went a little bit lower than 16.5, but we were looking for one more low based off of this. A wave 1, a wave 2, a wave 3. We were seeing a wave, the wave 4 was, kind of that triangle or that descending channel we were seeing. And then we were looking for one more fifth wave to end this impulse to the downside. So this impulse to the downside could be ended, and now we could at least see a 3-wave corrective move up to your golden pocket. So let's pull our golden pocket from the highs of the impulse down to the lows of the impulse. That golden pocket is going to be coming in around a significant area. It's going to be the value area high of this. This was your accumulation range. Remember, we were looking at a tap 1, a tap 2, a tap 3, accumulation. We saw expansion up to our golden pocket and our upper band. And now we could make a new move especially if we get back inside of this volume profile, we could make a move up to that value area high, which is where your golden pocket's going to be. And that we'd be looking for like a 3-wave corrective move up to that area before seeing another potential impulse to the downside. And that's more of a larger bearish scenario. But first order of business, we need to break above this lower band here. You can see over the last couple of days, let's just zoom in on the 4-hour, the lower band was really acting, let's get rid of that. The lower band was really acting as a resistance, but now we've broken above it and we've broken to the top of the lower band. This, just like Ethereum, just like SUI, just like Chainlink, we're at local resistance right now, local resistance. If we can break above this, first of all, we have our descending channel still that is being respected. We had one deviation of the descending channel here. But other than that, the descending channel is being respected. And this does have a higher probability to break up. If we break out of this descending channel, you can expect to at least grab the liquidity of the second pivot. But oftentimes you'll sweep all of this liquidity and you'll come up to this, take out these highs into the pitchfork midline. One thing that I am a little bit concerned about, you see this low at 14.65. We front ran that low, and it's really rare that you do come down so close to grabbing major liquidity and don't grab it, and you see an instant reversal. It does happen. We saw it with Chainlink earlier the year in April. It does happen, so this could be the low. We could be about to start to push massively up here. We do have nice bull divs that have formed. Unlike Bitcoin, unlike some of the other coins, AVAX does have nice bull divs here. Lower lows in the price action, higher lows in the momentum waves. And look at on NAMI here, multiple drives of bull div, and your money flow is now crossing into the green here. So this, for me, is a very nice setup for at least a bigger push up. And I think we might even hit up into your midline here, taking out your highs of the channel into your pitchfork midline at $24. That would be really nice to see. We need to break above this, first of all, and close the daily candle above the area, pretty much $18 or 17.9, right where we're at right now. If not, we could see this chop that often occurs in here around these pitchfork bands, in and around them, and then hopefully we break up and not down. Now, I do think that this impulse is potentially done here. It's potentially done. We need to see this money flow today with a green candle, the nice bullish engulfing green candle we're seeing right now. You can see that's a nice bullish engulfing green candle. It should make the money flow start to bottom out here. And if that money flow can bottom out and we have the bull divs and we have this confirmation on NAMI of money flow and multiple drives of divergences, bullish divergences, we can get that significant push up here on AVAX. And AVAX might be about to do something like SUI and Filecoin and all those. Let's pull a Fibonacci from the highs of the channel to our lows that we made, the lows of the channel. Okay, that golden pocket. And then let's look at some of our levels of interest here. Do we have any naked daily points of controls? Yes, and there's a naked daily point of control right there in that area of the golden pocket. So that would be a resistance area for me, where oftentimes when you break out of a descending channel, let me throw that on there right. Before I explain that, I'm just going to check naked weeklies real quick. Let's see if there's a naked weekly there as well. Nope. Okay. When you're in a descending channel like this, And if you can break out of that channel, you do have a high probability you get the nice break out of the channel. You'll hit into local resistance, and then you'll see a back test of that channel before making the big move and sweeping it all. So what I would be looking for is if we do break out of this channel and we do reject from this area, I would now be looking for longs around the back test of the channel. And you could see it's also right around the back test of your pitchfork band that you would be breaking above. And what was acting as support through most of this, it's resistance for us now, but if we can break above it, it will flip to support again. And then we can get that long there. So from right around this 17.8, 17.9, you don't want to long it right now because you don't know if you're going to reject here and roll over. You don't know if this is going to happen. But once you break above it, reject from a local resistance, now it's going to flip to a really good support. So if we reject from 20, I'd be looking at that long from 17.9, and I would be looking to take it up to 24, at least from 18 to 24, maybe even a little bit higher up to your nice support resistance flip. And that area, I just have to say that area, you can see we have a red box up there, and I use red for support resistance flip levels. So look how nice this historical support resistance, support. So now it could be acting as resistance again. And that's where your macro golden pocket and your value area high of your prior range was. We can actually just pull this range all the way now and just look at this as a deviation of the range. So yeah, that's your whole bottoming range. We're back inside the value area low of the range, which is a good deal. We need to close the daily candle today above that. We need to close our daily candle above 17.43. One thing we could see right now is a small rejection here to backtest that value area low and then break it up. That's what I would want to see there. Something like that. So we'll just have to kind of see how this plays out. But AVAX is very, very interesting to me. I'm really excited to trade AVAX. I hold some AVAX on spot. And let's hope that it gets a bigger move. But we are at resistance locally. Just be aware of that. Next big area of resistance, 20.33-ish. This 20 to 20.39, 33. And then the next other big resistance would be, oh, that's nice. Your POC shifted down. So this would be your next big resistance, $23 to $24. And then, of course, your next one would be the value area high and golden pocket and your support resistance flip area. Those are the big three levels that I'm looking for trades. In between, I'm not really looking for too much. Yes, sure, we're going to have some levels in between. If we go on to our weekly, do we have any weeklies in there? Nope, no weeklies in there. I mean, we have one at 20.77. 20.83, excuse me. It's also a daily level. So just, yeah. And then, of course, we have a daily up in our next box of resistance as well. So a lot of confluence up in this box up here. Daily level, swing failure pattern, pitchfork midline, POC of the range. 24 is looking really good, like really good resistance. And it would sweep all this liquidity. So this is what I primarily would love to see. Now, it doesn't mean it's going to happen, but we can break above out of this channel, reject from this area, back test that, and then go up to 24. That's what you'd really want to see. It would also be nice impulsive price action to the upside. Okay, let's check out FET. There was a couple other ones. Curve. I want to look at Curve right now. Don't worry, guys. We'll get into a lot of these coins. So if I don't choose yours right now, we'll get to it. CRV. Okay, CRV looks like it's bouncing from a naked weekly point of control. Let's just check that. Is it not going to go back that far? Dang it. It's not going to go back quite that far. But naked weekly point of control down here. We're bouncing from a naked weekly point of control. And it looks like, let me just clean this chart up a second for you guys. Yeah, we're coming up to the POC of our range. It's also the back test of your channel, your descending channel. You can see here, we had this large descending channel that we were trading in. Lost it, kind of were chopping around the bottom of it, and then we came down, made new lows. Now, our support level at 45 cents didn't hold, which was very interesting. We had a naked monthly point of control, a naked weekly point of control, a daily level. So this box did not hold. I'm going to get rid of this monthly level, daily level. We're just going to redo this chart because it's been a while since we've checked this out. What I do see here is this does look on the weekly like a three-wave corrective move. You hit your probably your 886 Fibonacci there. Now we could be seeing, if we take out those lows, it could be a bigger flat correction before seeing more impulsive price action to the upside. We did bounce from the value area low of our large weekly range that goes back to November of 2022. So it's a 3-year long range. We're bouncing from the value area low. We didn't see bull divs on the weekly. Let's see if we see bull divs on the daily time frame. No bull divs on the daily, and your money flow is coming out pretty aggressive here. Yeah, I would say no bull divs on NAMI either. So that's kind of bad to see that. That means we might kind of come down one more time and actually hit that weekly below us. I want to check to see if that's fresh. Yeah, that's a fresh weekly below us. And we could even come down to take out those lows. So it is looking like this could be due soon for a bigger pop off to the upside. I want to check one thing here. Did we reject from the 0.9 Fibonacci? Let's throw on our 886. Okay, we didn't even quite make it up to the 886. Rejected our 786 here. And yeah, so rejected your 786. Unfortunately, that does mean we probably could come down to take out the lows. At 34.69. But at the very least, maybe come down one more time to hit this weekly at 37.68. So in that case, I'd be looking for shorts on retracements, you know, coming up to this POC here. Let's mark out our new levels. We have that weekly. Okay. I'm just going to check out some POCs here real quick. Yep. Okay. Mark that. We'll mark out our POCs. Naked dailies. We'll check those out. And let me zoom in here so we can get a better look at these. Come on, TradingView. Okay. Yeah, so we have a nice naked daily right at that weekly as well. And a naked monthly. So definitely, and we're also hitting into a naked daily today. Right now, you can see that's where we're at local resistance on CRV as well. Naked daily, and it's probably it's not going to be your golden pocket, but it's going to be, let's just check. Okay, golden pocket's at the POC, right above us. So we do have some local levels here to look at. Because this is a large 3-year long POC, this is a major level of resistance. Large 3-year long POC, and it's your local golden pocket pulled from your range. Actually, yeah, your last big high on the daily to your low. Because on the daily, that was a big high before then. You could even pull a golden pocket from that high of the range. If we're looking at this as a sort of range that broke down, and now you're kind of back testing those range lows. But remember, ICP did that too. ICP was kind of in a range. It broke down, and then it pumped up all the way to take out the range highs and come up to the weekly that was above it. So we could be seeing something very similar to what ICP and Filecoin did, and Near. Okay, that was more than the 30% drop to the downside. So we are going to put this on logs based off log scale. Yeah, all right. You do have some resistance, some tough resistance above us, I would say. And depending on what time frame you're on, this is a larger time frame POC, so we should be using this POC here. So I would say this general area is really tough. You have 2 golden pockets. Now, the reason why I'm not changing this golden pocket to log scale is because that's not a 30% drop, but from here to there is over 30%. So resistance coming up here, and then your next big resistance, I would say, is that weekly and naked daily point of control. Also, let's pull that volume profile. Yeah, and it's going to be your value area high. So we do have some levels here. This in here. We want to flip this big POC to support. We want to break above it and flip it to support. So if we can do even this, break above it, hit this naked monthly, which is your small range POC, see a small rejection to back test the large range POC, and then at least come up here, we might be able to see, that kind of grindy type price action happen. But we really need to flip it. I mean, right now, we're not seeing the bull divs we wanted to see, not even 4-hour bull divs. You can see lower lows here. Money flow looked like garbage. So that was a hard one to catch. Nami was showing it. And even coming down, yeah, I guess Nami's money flow was starting to roll over here. It does look like Nami is a bit better for trying to find those bull divs. Confirm quicker here. All right, 1 hour looked real nice though. But your money flow was draining out the asset pretty rapidly. You did see the bull divs in here. Did you see money flow bull divs? Yeah, and you were seeing money flow bull divs too. Damn. Okay. This is a nice little bottoming formation though, like left shoulder, head, right shoulder here. Now you're starting to break your neckline to the upside. And that is going to be around your target if you're just thinking in terms of pattern trading, which I don't trade solely based off of those, but let me do this. Yeah, coming up, you're pretty much coming up to your target for that inverse head and shoulders breakout right now. So just be aware we could reject the two main resistances I'm looking at, 51 to 53 cents, and then really that 58 cent or 57.7 to like 58 cents. You break above those, you're gonna come take out these range highs at 63, really 64 cents. If we reject this POC, this macro POC, and this resistance here, you might be able to see one more move down to actually hit the value area low and the weekly and the naked weekly, which looks like we front ran it just very barely. And then that would give you your bull div that we missed out on. Like 4 hour time frame did not have bull divs, and the daily did not have bull divs. So if we can do this and then come down and see the bull divs here into this actual support and the high, like maybe 8 hour, 12 hour daily, that would be super, super nice. And I would be looking for swing longs down there. So actually, we're going to do this. We're just going to do long possibilities in this general area. Okay, CRV, we did XRP. Let's see. A tap on the like button is appreciated. Yeah, guys, please hit the like button. I'm sorry if it's taking a long time. I'm going to try to be quicker with these altcoins. Bitcoin's kind of just doing its thing. Okay, what was the next one? XRP, Solana. Solana looks pretty good, guys. I hate how we front ran that. We had a naked weekly point of control down there, and we had our range point of control at 145 to 144. We front ran it, but we might be looking at that flat correction again. One more kind of flat correction in here before coming down and seeing. Now that would give us our bull divs, because if we do that, we would actually have bull divs down here. We don't have bull divs. Money flow doesn't look the best. Now, Nami printed a hidden bull div, but not a bull div. So if we could come down and make one more low until like 145 and 144, that would be nice. We might now see a move up to back test this general area before coming down there. And remember, this area here, this general area, it was our support here, and it's going to act as resistance now. And our two key anchored VWAPs. Now, remember, these anchored VWAPs on Solana are from the all-time high and from the $96 lows. So the very, very most key thing on the chart is to get above these anchored VWAPs. And by the time we work our way up there, say we form a range down here. And remember, I talk about this. When you come down to major POCs, like this is from March of 2024, so almost 2 years long. This POC here, you don't generally bounce and V-shape right away. You form a range. The market forms a range, starts to get some clarity, and usually there's one more low where you take out the lows of the range and you stop out all the long traders that have longed this range, and then you get the big move up. So for me, I'm looking for Solana to kind of form a range down here, take out the lows one more time, and then we could see our nice impulse up here, potentially to come take out these highs. All right, let's go to, let me scroll up here. Render, we'll go to Render. Wow. I haven't checked Render in quite a while, so. All of this was lost, of course, in the big dump to the downside. You're right now backtesting your value area low, or you're about to backtest your value area low of your larger range. And I don't like to include that because look at what it does. Just because that wick was so aggressive to the downside, we can't really include that in your range. And of course, this was impulsive price action to downside. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You finished your 5-wave impulse, and then you started your sideways range in here. So what I'm looking at now is we need to get on render. Long story short is we need to get back inside this range. We need to get it back above 299, 298.5, 299. If we can get back above, we could probably see a move up, and let's pull our golden pocket from the range highs. I'm just going to pull it to the low we just made. Yeah, that value area high golden pocket there at about 407 to 420. Really 420, 419 is where it's at. So that would be your next big resistance. Real big resistance, I would say, is this general area. Actually, I would even bring it down to the POC because you have internal liquidity into your POC and value area high. I know that's a large range, but if we're going to see this kind of overall bearish trend continue like this, and then we could continue down from that area. Yeah, you have a fresh weekly there as well. I know that's a large range to be looking at for an altcoin, but if you're buying spot around like 391 to 420 is where I'd start like really looking. If you're buying, if you bought anywhere down here, I would at least be taking some profit up here. Man, and if the downtrend is going to continue, we can look at our bearish pitchfork here. I need to make this a skiff. Yeah, I mean, coming up here, we're really coming up to test. If our bearish trend is going to continue, we're going to reject from the top of this pitchfork and from that value area low. And then we're going to continue pushing down. Now, it might be a higher low before coming up here, so we'll have to keep an eye on that. But be aware you're getting close to resistance right now, pretty much at 299. Okay, we do have some naked dailies. Let's check our naked weeklies. Yeah, be aware, and we could see a fake out of this pitchfork into this naked weekly, and then if you fall back inside, it's not going to look good. Okay, we did Doge. Let's check Doge out. All right, with Dogecoin, I can't. I'm going to do that. Okay, so for Dogecoin, we had this range that was forming from July 2025 till the crash happened, and then now we're forming a lower range in here. And so we're going to be primarily focusing on this lower range in here until we can start to break above it. We're back testing the value area low right now. So what's going to be key for Dogecoin, if we reject here, we are going to continue pushing down. And yeah, we hit our major support level down here. That was your prior range value area high. You can see we had our bottoming accumulation range. This was accumulation, broke out, back tested it, and then we pushed up. That's actually what we wanted to see on AVAX. Now, AVAX couldn't hold that. Doge did and broke up to new highs, but we broke the pitchfork down. And we could actually be looking at a bearish pitchfork now. If this bearish trend is going to continue, okay, so first order of business, you can see we're holding the pitchfork midline on the daily. We're seeing some wickage past it, but we're holding it on the daily. We might be able to make a move up if we can get back inside of this range. It's highly likely we're going to make a move up to the value area high of that range. Let me get rid of this real quick, because you can see your upper range value area low is where your lower range value area high is, and it's going to be the back test of your pitchfork band. So what's likely is if we break back in this, we're going to see some chop in here, and we're probably going to come up, reject from that area, and then we would want to hold a higher low before making a higher high. Coming up to this 24 to 25 cent area looks really good. Like good resistance. You have naked weekly, naked daily, weekly levels, and it would also be the top of the pitchfork. So for right now on Dogecoin, you are at resistance. If you're long on Dogecoin, I would consider taking some, if you come up even just a little bit higher to hit that value area low. Looks like we pretty much did. I would consider taking some profit right now. Dogecoin does have that nice bottoming formation, left shoulder, head, right shoulder, starting to break out. And now you would be looking at back testing this neckline, and it would be where your VWAP is. If you're going to create a higher low, you're going to want to do something like that. But just be aware, it was nice bull divs in here, but your money flow looked like garbage. And let's go on to our 4 hour. Yeah, dang. I would like to see. If you made one more low, you could be making some really nice bull divs in here, but you would be breaking that pitchfork down the midline down quite a ways. Come on, TradingView. Okay, so we have a naked daily near your POC. Just be aware of that. Okay, couple levels to look at in here on Dogecoin. So we're obviously kind of at a resistance right now, a key resistance. If we can break above this value area low at pretty much 18 cents, what we could see here is continuing up to the daily of the naked weekly point of control. So we have a daily naked weekly. We want to break up here. We would probably see a small rejection from this area. We would want to back test that value area low and now confirm re-acceptance back within the range by holding it and then breaking above this area of resistance. If you can do that, you're going to break above that area of resistance. You do have a naked daily point of control that's up here, so you're probably going to just kind of fill this range. You're going to, continue bullish momentum until you get up near the value area high, a weekly, and your pitchfork up in this general area. So that's what we want to see here. And this area right up in here where your value area high, weekly, and pitchfork is going to be significant resistance. Right around 20.5 to like 21 cents is going to be significant resistance. If you can break above that, I'm sure we will see some chop within this band. you know, maybe back testing now, you're going to be entering this prior range up here. And you're going to probably see some chop in the band a bit, you know, reject from the POC, come back down, back test value area low, and then you could come up to your naked weekly, naked daily, weekly level at like 25 cents. I want to check Bitcoin dominance real quick because if Bitcoin dominance is at support, Bitcoin dominance is kind of at support, guys. So be aware because Bitcoin dominance is at support, and a lot of the altcoins right now are at like local support resistance levels. So we might be seeing a push up here in dominance, and we might be seeing a small drop in some of the altcoins. And I hate to say it, but a lot of the altcoins we're not seeing bull divs, like the nice kinds of bull divs we wanted to see. And unfortunately, because we didn't see those, we might be able to dump down some more. I am looking at USDT dominance here. Now, on USDT dominance, we're looking at a bigger 5-wave impulse to the upside if a bear market's going to kind of start. So let me show you within, you know, after flipping this midline and flipping your golden pocket. Actually, this golden pocket's a bullish retracement, but we rejected value area high, made a higher low, and this was after the big crash was. Yeah, that was after the big crash there. That was so after the big crash, we retraced 1, 2. We're in our potential third wave right now, and we could see a move all the way up to grab the liquidity of your prior highs into the top of your channel, your bigger descending channel here. So, and within this third wave, let me zoom in now onto the 2-hour. Within the third wave, it doesn't look like the third wave is done because you need a 5-wave impulse within the third wave. 1, 2, 3. We could be in a zigzag correction in a 4 before seeing a 5 here. And that's what that smaller. You want to see a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ending your third wave. Then you'll see a bigger pullback that's going to match something like this. And then a 5-wave up. And that 5-wave doesn't have to come up here. It could just grab that liquidity. But it looks like we might be seeing that overall in the next month or 2 months. We're finally taking out those lows here. Yeah. Okay. So USDT dominance, we are looking at a potential flat here in running flat here in a 4th wave. And then if we're going to get that now, if we hit the golden pocket, that's going to be a really good sign. We hit this golden pocket at 5.24%. It's going to be a good sign. And this larger impulse would be invalidated. Okay, we did Doge. We'll do FET. And then we'll do AV&T. Wow. Okay. FET is popping. Dang, it's seeing something very similar to ICP. Obviously, all these support levels got broken through when the big crash happened. I mean, it does look like we could have ended an impulse here. A wave 1, a wave 2, your wave 3, wave 4, wave 5. Now we could be seeing a corrective move up to the golden pocket. So let's just look at that. Let's pull a golden pocket from the highs to the lows. And we have to put it on log scale. Okay, I like that. That golden pocket coming in near the upper band, or by the time we get up there, it could be near the top of the bearish pitchfork, to be honest, like up in this area in April. We had this range up in here. Obviously, we broke that range down with a big crash. You can see here, I mean, just as far as the larger pitchfork goes, we were holding the midline of the pitchfork for most of this. We lost it, immediate back test. Found that choppy range that we often form in the bands, choppy range within the band. We finally lost it, back tested it, fell to the bottom. Small bounce from the bottom. Then we lost the pitchfork. We were rejecting it a couple times. We were able to get back inside of it. But look at, we just bounced, flipped the band to support, went up to the midline, rejected the midline, went down to the band again. So you were kind of chopping between the midline and the lower band. And then once we finally lost that lower band in the crash, we're right now trying to get back inside the pitchfork. If we can get back inside the pitchfork, that's going to be bullish. If we reject here, it's going to be a bearish sign, and we're probably going to continue pushing down. Okay, nothing really. $0.65, 65, 66 looks pretty good there as a resistance area. Yeah, very strong resistance in here. Naked monthly and naked weekly point of control and a weekly level. Just above us, we have a naked daily point of control. Okay, so we got some of our levels marked out here. And I want to turn that range back on. Let's see. This is your prior range. So you can see this is going to be significant resistance for FET. POC of your prior range, value area low of your prior range, naked monthly, naked weekly, weekly levels. So that's significant resistance between like 58 and 66 cents. 58 and 67. So yeah, that's a 10 cent. That's kind of a big range in there, but that's where your significant resistance is up there. And you'd be taking out these internal highs as well right before the crash happened. So yes, it's an internal high, but there is liquidity resting above that because that's right before the big crash. So anyone that shorted in here is going to have their stops above that high. But we could be seeing something very similar to ICP. Remember, ICP was kind of in this sideways range. Huge dump happened. We made new lows, and then you went one candle, two candle, like a bunch of candles pushing up there. You want to close the daily candle above like 41 cents. 41.19-ish. Are we seeing bull divs here? That's the question. Okay, this looks very nice, actually, guys. Look at this. Lower lows, lower low, lower low. Higher lows here. Money flow curving to the upside. Just crossing into the green on the 8-hour. NAMI as well. Bull divs and money flow bull divs. So this does look good. Now, you cannot long right here. We just took out the highs of your like dead cat bounce. You just liquidity grab the highs of the dead cat bounce, and now you're dropping. But if we do come down and back test like these prior highs right here at like 30 cents, that might be a really good area to look for a long. Let's pull. Yeah, and that's going to be the value area high of your range. Let's also look at our golden pocket. Yep, that right there, that right there is going to be nice. All right, let's change this. So the general area 31, 32 cents right in here is going to be super, super nice for support now. You come back down to 31 cents. So if you're trying to catch one of those ICP and fill pumps, near pumps, if we do this, boom, and then you might see that start to pop off again until we come up to like that 66, 65 cent area. Because we have some nice bull divs here. Let's see if we have daily bull divs. Yeah, very nice daily bull divs. Very nice daily bull divs. Money flow crossing into the green here. It does look like this could continue. And yeah, I mean, I'm not longing this right here. After that, you grabbed your liquidity and now you're dropping. So you want to back test that prior, those kind of prior range, these little highs in this little kind of sideways range in here. Let's look and see if there is naked dailies within there. Yeah, and you do have, oh, well, you did have a naked daily. No, never mind. So that's what I'd be looking at for FET. But FET does look like it might be able to continue. We have daily bull divs. We have high, like 8-hour bull divs. And this looks very impulsive to me. 1, 2, 3. Maybe you can get a pullback. But look at, you wicked up to grab your liquidity. No candle body closes back inside the pitchfork. So until you might be able to see a little bit of pullback here, especially since the Bitcoin dominance is at support, and Bitcoin dominance might bounce here. Okay, let me check the chat. I'm sorry, guys. I haven't checked the chat in a while. Don't forget to show some love by hitting the like button. Yes, please hit the like button, guys. Also, if you're interested, remember, I do have a Telegram community. I've partnered with BYDFI. We've created the Telegram community. If you want access to that Telegram community, it's free. All you have to do is sign up with BYDFI using my affiliate link and deposit $100 into the exchange. You'll get a 50% deposit bonus. You get 20% discounts on trading fees. And then once you do that, you can click the Telegram link in the description. Once you're in the Telegram, type in /verify and then your user ID, and that'll get you access to that Telegram community where I'll post trade setups. I'll post my thoughts on the market. And especially if we're going into alt season, we'll start hunting for some nice altcoin trades. And right now we're also doing that competition. It just started yesterday. So we're doing a competition, not yesterday, 2 days ago on the 5th. We're doing a competition for a month long. They put $2,000 into a prize pool plus a pair of Samsung earbuds, and top 5 traders will get 80% of the reward pool, and the other 20% of the reward pool will be randomly distributed amongst 5 other players, and the earbuds are going to be selected randomly. So just for playing, you have a chance to win. Link is in the description for this if you'd like to sign up for this exchange. I posted that earlier. Okay, let me check Mina. Okay. Tether Dominance is putting in nice bull divs. Okay, yeah. And Travi Trades, I am looking for Tether Dominance maybe to continue up in that impulse as well. Quiles, thank you so much for the super chat. Yes, we will check out those altcoins. Bullish on hardwood floors. Will AVAX pull back for a long? I mean, I do think AVAX, was it at resistance? Let's see. Yeah, AVAX is at resistance right now of that back test of the pitchfork band, the top of the pitchfork band. So if we pull back here on AVAX, we could pull back to back test this value area low now. You see, we're breaking back inside of our volume profile. But after breaking back inside the volume profile, what you'll often see is you'll see a rejection from local resistance, and then you'll see a back test of that value area low. If it holds, you might break out and you might come up to your next big levels. We do have that daily level that's at 18.8. Okay, I don't have a nice tree for AVAX, object tree. but you have this daily in here at 18.8. It would also fill in this nice fair value gap. You can see this big fair value gap here. Actually, yeah. Okay, never mind. It's still a big imbalance in here that there's nothing going to be in here. So you break above this, there's nothing really keeping you coming up to that daily. That daily is also going to be near the top of the channel. Actually, yeah, right at the top of the channel. So break above this, you're coming up here. But now you can look for a couple things here on AVAX. A pullback to about 17.34. And if it holds, you're going to come up here. Or if you lose it, a pullback to the VWAP and the channel midline. Because now we're flipping that channel midline as well. So it might act as support. And that is going to be coming in right around 17. So 17.3 to 17 might be a nice little long area. Okay, let's go into Arbitrum real quick. Yeah, Arbitrum is also in the process of back testing its range. Gosh, these wicks screw us up so much on these ranges, these volume profiles, but you were in a nice little bottoming formation here. You're starting to see selling exhaustion come in here. And overall, you can see besides that giant wick that, was really horrible, we're starting to find a bottom here. I will say this, excluding the wick, you have nice bull divs on the daily. Actually, very nice bull divs. 1 low, 2 low, 3 low. Boom, boom, and boom. But your money flow is not quite bottomed out yet. You can also see here nice bull divs coming in. And yeah, so I mean, these freaking wicks, man. But we are breaking back inside your volume profile. Let's pull this. Let's just look at this before the crash happened. Okay, that see how much that changes the value area low. And in that case, if you're looking at this bottoming range, excluding that wick, which I would have to say you kind of have to do. First off, we did reject this resistance already. So this was pulled. We rejected that. So I'm going to delete that now. That was our big last rejection before our big drop here. And that naked weekly is probably not fresh anymore. Yeah, we hit into it. So we'll get rid of that. Whew. Okay, the value area low of your range is going to be coming in right around those highs. The 35-cent area. So 35 cents is going to be crucial to break above. If we're looking at just our smaller range, okay, we're coming up to your golden pocket right now. And let me make sure that's not log scale. Golden pocket. And then we could look at pulling a volume profile of that range. That sideways range. POC, golden pockets coming up soon, and you have internal liquidity resting there. So be aware you're coming up to a resistance soon. 31.7 to 30, 31.7 is a resistance area. And we'll check our naked daily points of controls. Okay. No naked dailies, but we do have one up near our value area high. Naked dailies. And that's also going to be the POC of your big range. So yes, next big level So we have local resistance coming up. The next resistance I would be looking at is the value area high of your range in confluence with your large range POC and a naked daily point of control. You see your large range POCs there. You also have a daily level right there as well, right close to it, that was not tapped. Ah, man, that messes it up. You see your POCs way up here now if you're zoomed out. And it's probably more accurate on the higher time frame because this is measuring a high time frame range. A lot of going back all the way to February. That's where TradingView can kind of get wonky sometimes. But I would say you have to break above like this 33, 34 cent area. You need to get back above this in order to see real strength on this. We are trying to close above this channel midline. A daily close above it would be nice. And what we could see here, if Arbitrum is about to pull off like a fill and ICP type move, it would be nice to continue pushing up here, reject from that resistance to come down, back test that channel midline, and then push up to value area high. And then hopefully you break above that and you continue up to that area. Now this box was pulled after this range was formed, so it looks like that's still intact. We'll double check that in just a second, but yeah, that's a fresh weekly there. That's going to be a fresh daily. So that is going to be your next big resistance, is up here where you have a POC, range POC in confluence with a naked daily POC, a weekly level, and a daily level. Big, big resistance. And that means you would get back inside of this bottoming range, which is what we want to see. We want to get back inside this bottoming range here. Unfortunately, these wicks really F us because if we did pull the volume profile, you could say you're re-entering back within it right now, but to me, it's dangerous. I mean, it did actually happen. It did actually wick that low on Coinbase. And then that moves your POC down to that 34 cent area, 33, 34 cents. So no matter what, that 34 cent area is going to be key to get back above. And if you do, you're going to most likely work your way up to that 43 cent area. There's not a lot in here to keep us from working up. You can see it's just a big gap in here. So, and now, of course, you'd have to be aware of the SFPs, these range highs. The SFP of the high at, what is that, 36 cents? But yeah, you have nice bull divs. Money flow is not completely bottomed out yet here. With today's daily candle close, it's probably going to be a nice bullish engulfing candle. And including the wick, I mean, if you're going to include the wick, which I don't know if I like that, you do have some nice bull divs here. Potentially. But I would just be playing this small range. This small range right here, since the crash ended, you're going to want to play this range until you can get back inside it, back like really above that range. But if you're playing that small range, you are back inside of the volume profile. And it's highly likely you work your way up to the POC. Internal liquidity's up there. Golden pockets up there. POC's up there. Okay. All right, guys, if I forgot about your coin in this list, just repost it right now down in the chat, and I will check that because I know we've gone through a lot, but I'm sure I've missed a couple of them. So if you, let's see, Mina, we'll look look at Mina real quick. Wow, this thing's like crazy with liquidity. Mina's starting to do an ICP type thing too. Yeah, you were kind of trending down within this channel. We broke it to the downside, but now we're back in it. And so that's really important actually. When you break it down, you fake out and you get back in it, you're going to probably see it work up to the midline. And then if you can break that, you're going to work up to the top of it. But what I would be saying for Mina as well, like look at this range that was forming, a bottoming range in this general area. You have that value area low that you lost it and you were rejecting, new lows, new lows, new lows. So now we really need to make it back up. Like 37 cents is going to be crucial. And then even if we're looking at a kind of steeper channel that was in here, let's make that one blue. You're at the top of that channel. So I'll hide this one for a second. You can see that towards the end, after rejecting the value area low of your big range, you started grinding down within this descending channel. You're at the highs. You could roll over and continue back down before breaking up here. Let's look at our different. Yeah, that would be actually really nice. You can see that now. If you do reject where we're at right now, rolling down to about 13.5, 13.4, 13.5 might be nice little support where you then could look for a bigger push up to the midline at 25 cents, 25 to 27. And let's just pull a volume profile of this sideways price action afterwards. Yeah, you're at resistance right now. You're at a value area high resistance, the channel resistance right now. And if you can pull back, man, I don't like how this looks like contracting diagonal in here. I mean, actually, what that means is that this might break down, and then we could see that. So let's do this here. Yeah, that's going to be pretty nice. And then we'll pull one more golden pocket from the lows of the wedge to the highs that we just made. And we're going to put that one not on log scale. Okay. Yeah, so that is your pretty much your support is like 14.5 to 13.5 is going to be local support. So if you reject right now, come down to that area, you might be able to hold that. Money flow looks nice and bullish here on the 3 hour. Did we see bull divs on higher time frames? So once again, it depends. I mean, actually, even locally, you were seeing bull divs on the daily. From this low here, 3 lower lows, and then from that low, you can see that's where this momentum wave bottomed out. We are seeing bull divs on the daily. Not on NAMI, though. Yeah, unfortunately, it's not on NAMI. But if you're looking at... Yeah, that's kind of a double bottom there. But that bull div could have given us this move up. I mean, we're really going to have to check out dominance. If dominance is going to bounce here, the altcoins are going to pull back a little bit. But those pullbacks could give you nice opportunities to long. The one thing I'm concerned about is if Bitcoin does see that flat correction and start to roll over, we're really going to see the altcoins could start to drop significantly. Wow. Okay, we might be about to lose this. Turbo. Yes. Okay. Did I answer your questions earlier? I'm sorry. Mark Dutch, I didn't see them. Let me scroll up and look for your questions. Let's see here. A tap on the like button. Okay, that's not that one. Okay, serious question. Don't you think those grid lines on your TradingView canvas are annoying? And why didn't you set your background to pitch black? Yeah, I do think these are annoying. How do you get rid of those? Mark Dutch, if you can tell me, let's see, scale and lines. I guess I haven't noticed them enough to be super annoying, but I would like them gone. Price label lines, okay. Canvas, here we go. Yeah, that's better. Thank you, Mark. I do like that. Now I'll probably, yeah, we'll stick with that for now. Thank you. Canvas. Yep. All right. Okay. Tau, Ada, AVNT. I'm sorry. Oh, I'm gonna go through AVNT right now. And then we'll go through Tau, Ada, Turbo. Man, that's wild. Yeah. I actually think I'm gonna set the canvas a little bit lighter than solid black. Oh, I don't like that. There we go. Okay, Advantis. So I could see, is there a better chart for this? Yeah, we're kind of bouncing from our local support level or one of our support levels in here. That was an order block, it looks like, somewhere in here, an order block that you're bouncing from. We'll get rid of this. It is starting to find a nice bottoming range in here. This nice sideways bottoming range in here after the crash. So you have your big aggressive crash and then you start going sideways, which is a good sign. Did you take out the lows? No, you didn't. Okay. We'll pull our volume profile after the crash ended. You're rejecting POC right now, but because you're back inside your volume profile, watch for the value area low at 56.47 to flip to support. 56.5, let's say, to flip to support. Yeah, and you also had a daily level there as well that you did front run just a little bit. That was hit. Okay. Let's go back to the dailies. And yeah, that was hit as well. So you bounced from a daily level today, bounced from your daily level today. You finally hit it. You can see we kind of chopped down. We had a daily level, chopped down until we actually hit that daily, and now we're pushing here. I guess this black makes it a little hard to see some of these lines. I might change that gradient back to where it was, but the lines nice are gone. Nice and gone. Okay, let's look at some naked weekly points of control. Yeah, you're rejecting today, right now, from a naked weekly point of control in confluence with a range point of control. So you're definitely at a resistance and you're rejecting here. So make sure you're taking some, if hopefully you took profit already, but if you did get that pump, you might want to take some profit there. And all right, naked dailies. I mean, naked daily. I'm going to delete that daily now because it was hit today. And then let's pull our golden pocket from the high of the range to the lows that we just created. We'll make sure that's not. Yeah, I like that golden pocket actually because there's some nice liquidity resting right above it. Let's. I mean, it is a 45% drop, so you should be using based off log scale. But honestly, the non-log golden pocket is a nicer resistance because that liquidity. Yeah, and then so you see where your golden pocket's coming in right around the value area low, and your VWAP's right down there as well. This could be a local support level. Now, if we're going to continue pushing up, because now that we're back inside the volume profile, you could fill this volume profile. You break above, flip it, and then kind of come up into this general area. Be aware, though, you did get very close to taking out these lows, but you didn't do it. So you might drop one more time to take out those lows. Yeah, and you also front ran. You front ran even your non-log golden pocket, but you did front run golden pocket area. So I wouldn't be surprised if we do come down and take out the range lows one more time, like these lows down here at 46 cents. But now that we're back inside the volume profile, we'll play the range until it breaks. So if you come down to this area of 56 to like 55 cents, you could look for a long if you see bull divs on the chart. Low, you're going to have to see low time frame bull divs, 15-minute, 30-minute, maybe 5-minute bull divs. Man, this coin is newer, so there's not too much you can do here on this. I'm going to check let me get rid of this now. Was there a naked daily up there? Yeah, there's a naked daily point of control at that golden pocket. So that's definitely going to be a resistance at like that 74-cent mark, 73 to 75. Liquidity grab. You can see you have your internal SFP liquidity grab into that. So that's definitely going to be a resistance. Support level. I'm going to get rid of this box now, or I'm just going to hide it for a second. And we're breaking, it looks like, our downtrend channel. Yeah, you see this nice little downtrend channel that we were in. So you had like this kind of 3-wave corrective move, and you had a triangle in here. You broke after taking out some local highs. Did you actually? Let's see. Did we take out those highs? Double topped them almost. Dang. Okay. Well, in some ways that's good. That means you might come up and bust through it next time. But you're not breaking the channel. You're trying to break the channel. So this is the thing. Advantis is still in its downtrending channel. Like our momentum is down here, and you could reject and come down because you can see here, yeah, we wicked up to the POC, but we're not closing any candle bodies above that channel top. It would be nice to do this and then break it up, break it out. Maybe see something like that there. So for now, I'd just be playing this range, looking at the value area low back test, bullish back test the value area low. But if you lose that, you just got to be careful, because if you don't bounce from this value area low, I mean, you might just continue chopping within this channel until you take out the lows of the range. So because you would lose the value area low, you'd probably bounce from this naked daily in the channel midline, only to come back up to what would be the value area low in confluence with the top of the channel again, and you'd probably drop back down and take out those lows and potentially hit that non-log golden pocket that's just below, which sucks that we even have to talk about that, but let's put that on. You can see it wasn't tapped, so coming down, hitting that, you can see that we didn't tap into it with that low. Okay, ADA. Actually, ADA is still trading nicely. We didn't see a giant wick on ADA. That's awesome. At least on Coinbase we didn't. But we did reject very nicely from this resistance up here. You can see we had this laid out. We rejected from this resistance. Unfortunately, this does look like it could be a 1-2, 1-2. This is your big third wave. 4, 5, 4, or excuse 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we might make one more low, but you're hitting a macro golden pocket here. I want to check some of these levels. I don't know when the last time we looked at ADA was. So this weekly is busted through. I'm pretty sure all of this is pretty old. Yeah, but look at this. Took out the lows of the range, the double lows, liquidity, into a golden pocket that was front run. And that golden pocket was probably pulled from the bear market lows, or not bear market lows, but your last big weekly lows to those highs. And because that's more than 100% move, you got to do that. Yeah. Very nice. And look at, that's also your accumulation range. You can see this was kind of your lower bottom accumulation range. It's the value area high back test of that range. So ADA actually, as far as technically goes, was really bouncing from a key support level. Value area high, golden pocket. We finally hit into it and we're bouncing here. But what we need to do now is get back inside of this upper range. We need to get back inside up here. Okay, I'm going to delete this guy. Nice liquidity grab, though. We did that into our golden pocket. Okay, now let's hit. Okay, so now we're going to look at our golden pocket here. Is that more than 30% is the question. Yeah, okay, so we'll keep this at log scale. So your resistance above is definitely going to be that value area low golden pocket coming in right around 63 cents, 63 to 64 cents. Let me zoom in so we can get a better look at that. Dang, no naked daily points controls up there. Let's see if we have a naked weekly up there. Nope. This is kind of your trend after the crash, your bearish trend. You can see the midline's highly respected, so that's good. And if we come up to that midline again, I bet you that's going to be, so let's do this real quickly. Let's mark this so we don't forget. This is going to be golden pocket slash area low. No, I mean, your channel midline doesn't have much confluence there, but you can see how this value area low, support, support, support. Now it's flipping to resistance. So that's going to be your big level to get above. If we're looking at our very, very local golden pocket pulled from after we lost the value area low to the lows that we made, non-log scale, we're above it. That's a good thing. Above it, and we're probably hitting into our 786 right now. No. So your 786 is going to be at the channel midline. Be aware because altcoins often will reject from 786, not golden pockets. So we could reject and then come back down to back test this prior kind of support resistance flip in here. So be aware of that. But it does look good. We're bouncing from a very, very macro golden pocket after taking liquidity of a weekly range. That is really good to see. Were we seeing bull divs? Let's check that question. Dang. Not really. Money flow looks pretty bearish here on the daily time frame. Nice bullish engulfing candle though. Unfortunately, now here's the thing with what we're seeing here on NAMI, 1 low, 2 low, 3 lows, 3 drives of bull div on the daily time frame with the trigger wave. Money flow is coming to the upside here. So this could at least give us a move up to this 64-cent area. But that 64-cent area really is going to be key to break back above. So we could watch for now, zooming back in onto that hourly chart, we're going to pull a, get rid of that. We're going to pull a range from right after that big crash happened. Yeah, and that value area low, let's include that. Okay, so yep, that's going to be your next big resistance or small resistance coming up close is right now you're coming up into local resistance. 786, channel midline, and value area low of your lower range. Break back above that, it's almost guaranteed you're going to come up to 64 cents. Grab all this internal highs up here into your larger value area low, and it's also your POC of this range. But the daily money flow still doesn't look too good. Actually, it looks worse than a lot of the coins. Look how aggressive it's still leaving here. You are getting the big green dot. No bull divs here, unfortunately, on market cipher B. Nami showing some nice bull divs, and that is telling me we might be able to at least move up to 64 cents. Now, if you break above 64 cents, I do like this value area high in confluence with your large range POC. 72 cents up here. And it is also the highs of your channel. So remember, when you are in a descending channel, first of all, we deviated the bottom of it. We were able to get back in it. If you can flip that midline to support and break above it, then you have a high likelihood of sweeping the liquidity of the entire channel, which would be coming up into that POC area and sweeping that. So, I mean, that would be a next big resistance. Small resistance at 59 cents. Then your real key is 62 to 64 cents. And then you break above that, you're going to probably go up to 72 to 73 cents. You'll probably see some sort of reaction from this weekly because it's around the second pivot of the channel. But that's kind of what I'd be looking at here on ADA. Tau. I know I have a chart. There we go. Let's just delete that for a second. Okay, as far as your pitchfork levels go, you see we're in this kind of flat pitchfork here. This does, by the way, look like a bottoming range in here. A big bottoming range. I don't know. Yeah. God, that's the whole life of the coin pretty much, though. You had this descending channel. I mean, it's actually was really nicely respected in here. You deviated it. You were able to get back in. So this was a deviation of the channel. And then you started trading within the channel again. Of course, the big crash happened. But now we're attempting to break out of this channel, which is very nice because it really, overall, we've been in this channel for quite a while with one deviation below it. One major deviation, but it's a deviation. So the fact that you're starting to break out of this channel is super nice. If you can hold this, and it's expected anytime you're in a descending channel like this, you break out of it, you're going to reject a resistance. Now you're coming in for the back test. If you can hold it, you're going to come up to the next major resistance or even up to the top of the pitchfork here. So let's hide this channel for a second. I'm not going to get rid of it because we're in the process of backtesting, but you're also in the process of backtesting your pitchfork midline. After rejecting from the upper band of the pitchfork, you fell to the midline. If we can hold the midline, now we can at least try to work our way up into this, the top of the pitchfork band, maybe even the top of our big pitchfork. Okay, we're still underneath the POC of this range. Now, I understand this range is pretty much the volume of the entire coin's history, at least on Binance. And I think Binance is probably listed it from the beginning. We can look at this upper range. I'm liking this weekly up here because it's going to be, if we can hold and come up, we can probably grab, hit into that weekly there, which is also going to be a daily level up there. Yeah, that's really your kind of your last daily level. I mean, this one's a little bit tough because it's really rangy. As long as we're above the pitchfork midline at like 364, we do have a probability of at least, coming up back. We have to break above this value area high because you can see here rejection value area high, rejection value area high, rejection, 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 rejection. We tried to peak above it, but we rejected the pitchfork band, and now we're back underneath it. So, unfortunately, that means you could, and you're also below your POC, which means that you could fill all the way back down to the bottom of the range, which would be your lower pitchfork band. And if you lose your pitchfork midline, yeah, you might work your way back down to the bottom band here. We do kind of see, I mean, this low that we made earlier today invalidated the bull divs. Lower lows, but also lower lows here. Money flow looks pretty good. It's coming to the upside. Nami has some nice bull divs. And money flow bull divs. On the 1 hour. Let's check like our 4 hour. Okay, yeah. I mean, that's pretty nice here. We're seeing 4 hour bull divs. 4 hour bull divs. Multiple drives of 4 hour bull div on Nami and money flows crossing into the green. So what I would say is this could give us a significant, not a decent push up. Let's pull our Fibonacci from the rejection highs on last Friday to our lows that we made today. Yeah, golden pocket is right there at the value area high. So that's going to be a resistance right there. Golden pocket value area high. And we can check our naked dailies and naked weeklies. Nothing in. Now remember, with these pitchfork bands, you oftentimes will see multiple tests of it before confirming a major rejection. And just like with I can't remember what other coin it was, but we saw it just ranging between the upper band and the midline, upper band and midline, and we could see a new range form between the upper band and the midline in here after the crash. So just be aware that that's a possibility because we do have a naked daily point of control near those highs, and it's your pitchfork band. But very, very locally, we're not quite at resistance yet. I would say the naked daily point of control and the point of control is like a micro resistance where you might see a pullback. If we did that, we first of all, we're breaking market structure by breaking these highs here. We're breaking market structure bullishly on the 4 hour. So if we come up here, break market structure bullishly, now we can look for a higher low before coming up and making a higher high. Now, this is a theoretical golden pocket, but we'll pull it from today's lows up to that naked daily point of control. And that golden pocket is going to be where you want to kind of look for a long around that golden pocket. And the reason why we're now flipping bullish locally is because we did take out our market structure. By taking out these highs right here, we've had a market structure, a bullish market structure break. It would be nice to come up to this naked daily before really rejecting. Because if we see an SFP here, I mean, it's that sucks. And in that case, you might just fall all the way back down to these lows. Like you can see these general lows of this range here. All of these general lows are right at your golden pocket. And if we're going to do that and continue to just range within this smaller range, maybe actually, and then kind of just start to form a range in this general area. Going into the weekend, that's maybe probable. Okay, GRT. What am I doing here? Shoot. I do got to go soon, guys. Wow, GRT's about to pull a freaking ICP as well. You're back testing your value area low right now, or you're coming to back test that value area low. But just like ICP and Filecoin, they kind of found a bottoming range. They had that quick dump, chopped for a little bit, took out the lows, and then they shot up like crazy. So we might be about to see that here. Nice bull divs here. Multiple drives of bull div on NAMI. Money flow coming up and crossing into the green on NAMI. With today's candle close, I bet you this money flow is going to start to round off. So it's actually looking pretty nice here for GRT on the daily time frame to get a decent move up from this. This bull div could give us a decent move up from these range highs on the daily range to our lows. And we're going to, yeah, value area highs there. Let's get rid of this. Value area high, golden pocket. And then you do have that internal liquidity right in there at 10 cents. Okay, you do have a fresh daily at 11. You have a naked daily point of control also at that golden pocket. But this naked daily point of control is at your value area low. So you got to get above that first. Come on here. Okay, so right now on GRT, first resistance is coming up. Value area low, naked daily point of control. So I would expect at least some sort of pullback from this area. You did grab your liquidity of this lower range today. After the crash happened, you have a lower range. You just grabbed your liquidity. It would have been nice to come a little bit higher and hit the naked daily and then lose the liquidity level. But you would be playing this range here. You're above the value area high of the range, so that's nice. So maybe a pullback, a back test, and then come up here. And then if you reject that, you might start to form that ascending channel structure. But then the real big resistance is the value area high of your bigger daily range with a naked daily and a golden pocket up there. Now that golden pocket is pulled from the range highs, but if we're looking at this last move down, I bet you this golden pocket Is that monthly old? Yes. Man, I don't like where that's at. So when you're looking for golden pockets, you're really just pulling them from swing highs to swing lows. So our main golden pocket of this range is obviously from the range high to our range low. But you can look at intermediate golden pockets from the lower high to the low as well. And that lower high golden pocket is coming in pretty darn close to your naked weekly POC. So that could be considered some sort of resistance there. I don't, yeah, just be aware that that's there, like 9.3 to 9.6. But the 10 cent area to me looks a little bit better. Okay. Oh, Turbo. I'm sorry, John. Turbo. I don't know if I've ever done Turbo. Oops. Ugh. Okay. So Turbo was kind of in a range up here, and we're losing that range with the big crash. Bouncing from a monthly. This weekly is going to be important. We have a couple weeklies in here. So what I would be looking at is pulling this daily range until the breakdown. Yeah, that weekly, and then if we look at our golden pocket on log scale, because that's more than a 30% drop. So major resistance right up here. Value area low of the range that you lost in confluence with the golden pocket and a weekly level. And there's a naked weekly point of control up there. Major resistance. That's your only fresh naked weekly point of control on this whole entire downtrend. Wow, you got a lot of naked dailies. Let's zoom in on this. Okay, so you have a naked daily point of control just above at that weekly level. That's your first resistance. And after the crash happened, so you can see this upper range in here that we broke down from. Value area low is right where your weekly is and your naked weekly and your golden pocket. So that's a major resistance up here. But we are still playing around now. After the big crash happened, we're still playing around now down kind of in this range. And we're trying to reclaim this range. So levels at a time. And what I'd be looking at is pulling a volume profile of this range. Okay, so if we include the drop underneath, we're back inside of it, but let's pull it to like right here. Yeah, we're trying to get back inside of our range. Let's look at our descending trend. We're at the top of the channel. rejecting from the top of the channel here. So, and rejecting from your value area low. Be aware that you might see another drop back down here. It does look impulsive as far as this goes, though. Like a 1-2, internal 1-2, you're in your big 3. So now if we pull back 4, 5, 4, 5, it would be nice to at least see a small impulse finish like that. After rejecting from the weekly, you could see a larger time frame back test, and then hopefully you want to break out, take out the highs of the second pivot of the channel into the value area high of that range, and potentially even come up and take out those. Let's see, there was naked dailies in here. Let's look at those. Yeah, I mean, just be aware you have some naked dailies in here. Just use your PVP indicator to look at those naked dailies, because those are probably just going to be pullback areas if you're going to continue this uptrend. Yeah, that's definitely your first level of resistance. Right now, and let's just check this. Yeah, that's a 48% drop. So this should be on log. Is it? Yep. Okay. All right. So here's the thing. First order of business is right now we're at resistance right now, being the value area low in the top of the channel. If you can break value area low, top of the channel, you're going to come up here. So you got to be aware of a fake out of the channel, because what you might have is break into the channel, break into this resistance. And if you fall back inside the channel, you're going to dump hard. But if you can break out of the channel, reject from this resistance, back test the channel, then you have a high probability of continuing up and taking out like kind of these internal highs into the value area high. And remember, there was a naked daily right above that. But with our confluence of resistance, a weekly level, a naked daily point of control, and your golden pocket pulled from the highs of your local range to the lows of your local range. You have your golden pocket there. So that area, your first big resistance is 002498 to 002583. Or where the weekly is, 2575. Okay, if you can break above this, then you might, of course, you're going to probably bounce around where these liquidity grabs are and naked dailies are in here, but you might be able to work your way all the way up to this 004 area. And then if you can break back above that, I mean, that would be really nice. I don't know if we're going to get that big of a move like right away. Let's see, were we seeing bull divs on the daily? No bull divs on the daily time frame. And money flow still kind of coming out. Now, NAMI, once again, NAMI is faster. Lower lows, higher lows, money flow coming to the upside. NAMI here means we could at least make a move up to like the high, take out the highs of the channel even, or yeah. I mean, I really like this resistance because you have your internal liquidity right before the big crash up there as well. And it's the value area low of that range. So that's what I would look at for Turbo, John. And if you do reject right now the top of the channel and the back test of this value area low, then I would be looking at, because it does look like, so here's the dilemma here. This could be a 1-2, 1-2, and then this is your 3, and now you're pulling back in a 4-5, 4-5, finishing that double 1-2 impulse, seeing a 3-wave corrective move to backtest the channel, and now you're going to push again in another impulse. Or if this is more of a 3-wave corrective move, you're rejecting the top of the channel, and now are you going to come kind of all the way back down? And based off of the daily bull divs that we're seeing and stuff, I would say on NAMI, I would say you're probably more likely to be in the impulse. Also, some of these coins are starting to follow what ICP and Filecoin did. So that's what I would say there. I'd probably have my bias a little bit bullish. It's going to depend on Bitcoin, of course. No bear divs yet here on the 1 hour time frame. And if you're looking at this being a 1-2, 1-2, a 3-way, you're going to go from the bottom of 3 to the top of 3, and you're going to look between that 0.382 and 0.5. You want to see a bounce in this general area before seeing that. Okay, guys. I have been streaming for 3 hours. I do got to get going here. If I didn't get to your altcoins, I'm really, really sorry. Okay, wait, Mark, you said maybe also delete the background for your fixed range volume profile. Okay, let's see here. Is that this thing? I see. Nice. Okay, cool. I mean, I kind of like the opacity a little bit just because it shows you that range. Let's see. Just barely, though. Let's do it at 5%. Then it kind of shows you where that range ends, but that's nice there. I might change the background to make it a little bit lighter, maybe that gradient that they have there. But thank you for that, Mark Dutch. Holding the 50 and 200 on the daily on Tau. Okay. Yeah, but guys, I do got to go. If I didn't get to your altcoin, I'm really sorry. I will try to cover these, and we're going into potentially like a little altcoin run here. So let's be aware that we could get some really good trades here. I will post in the Telegram. If you have questions in the Telegram, just tag me in the general chat, but make sure to tag me, because if you don't tag me, sometimes I don't see it. And yeah, then we'll you can ask questions. We can do that. Answer any stuff like that. Okay, check my background settings above. Wait. Background settings. Settings here. Yeah, gradient. There we go. Okay, thank you guys so much for coming in today. I think it was a pretty good stream. I hope you guys caught some of these moves. Looks like Bitcoin's continuing to push up locally here. I would watch that 105K level. Now, I didn't talk about this at the beginning of the stream, but that 107K level to me is still super important, because that is your local golden pocket pulled from the last like hourly highs down to your lows. It's your golden pocket in confluence with the bearish backtest of your major channel that you broke down from. But most importantly, it's your 74K anchored VWAP. And that 74K anchored VWAP, now that we're below it, it could act as resistance. Remember, you lose a major anchored VWAP like this, oftentimes you'll come back up, backtest it as resistance, and if you fail, you're coming down. So be aware of that. We're going into the weekend. It's probably going to be rangy, but I would be watching for rejections from 105 and 107-ish. And the reason why is because we have liquidity so close, and like double bottom pretty much liquidity. But thank you guys so much. I will see you Monday. Maybe I'll stream Sunday.